Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ultimate Schmoedown Aftershow, a show that breaks down the previous week in Schmoedown and all other related news and announcements about it as well. My name is John Barr. I am the host of the show. I am joined, of course, as always, by first off the man on my right, Boggs. How you doing?
Oh, good sir. Two great guests today. Can't wait to talk to them. And yeah, another week, another show. Pleasure speaking or Schmoedown with you guys and girls.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure as always. Happy to do it. But of course, we can't do it without our other wonderful co host, Soul. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. I can't wait to talk to these guests. One, for doing just the absolute best thing ever this week. I love what she did. She's coming on later. And then just the Outlaw. We're on his channel. Let's bring him in. like,
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we will go ahead and address this right up top because obviously it's going to be the number one thing on everybody's minds. Yes, unfortunately, I did not get cast as Mario in the upcoming Mario Illumination movie. I want to thank everybody so much that was using the hashtag Mario Bar. I saw a couple people using the hashtag Barrio. I try to explain that that's just a whole different thing. It's okay. The spirit was there. So if everyone can just go ahead and still use the hashtag justice for John Barr not being Mario. I know it's a lot, but that's the only way to get traction in this world. Yeah, we got, but now that we've addressed the elephant in the room, the number one thing that people tuned in for, we've got three pretty good matches that we're going to be talking about as we're now knee deep in two different tournaments, with a third one now going to be, it seems like, airing the first match of which this week, which I mean, it's kind of crazy. So I kind of wanted to just start off, since we're waiting for our guests to arrive in a few minutes to really break down into these matches. I wanted to start just talking to the two of you about which of the matches you're most excited to see. And I think we'll start with the remainder of the Star Wars tournament and the teams tournament, since obviously those are a little bit more locked in, set in stone, with only one team or one member representing each faction. Whichever one of you feels the most ready to go. If not, I can lead off with the fact that Final Exam versus King Arthur, I still got no idea how that's going to go. And I only have like 2.5 hours to pick a winner for that. Justice for, that's a little bit shorter. That one's pretty good as well, Chrissa. God bless you.
Yeah, I don't know Star Wars. Because I think next round you're gonna get a Dimalanta Damon match either way, so that'll be cool. I guess I'd rather see Molly because we've seen a lot of Alex and just something different, I guess. And yeah, a gold leader I want to see. I believe he's playing Laura Kelly, so that should be.
No. Scrimshaw is playing. Wait, hold on. I have this down in my notes because Laura Kelly's playing Eric Whiteley this week. Scrimshaw's playing Golden Leader. That is what's up.
Yes. So yeah, they're cool, of course. But yeah, the teams match, I think. The kind of Paige Bateman rematch, with Danger Zone and I think it's the Untouchables. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yes. Yeah, that's also, there's hot matches all around. So can't wait for any of them. But yeah, what about you, Sol?
I will love to see just the Damon Civil War there. That's going to be an exciting match. So I'm excited to see that. It would be cool if Molly gets out on top. And then we'll just have another female going against each other in Star Wars. And I always love when we have our females doing really, really well in Star Wars, because we've had Laura Kelly. Now we have Molly killing it. We have Nicki killing it. We're going to talk about that later today. So I'm just excited for all the ladies in Star Wars.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. And I'll share my picks, but as you can tell, I'm a little bit sleepy. I'm a little bit smooth-brained today. I almost forgot. We got to read out comments from last week.
You done it on purpose, to be honest.
I'm just bad at my job today, as it turns out. First off, gang, don't forget there are multiple ways that you can support us. Obviously, we've got the Streamlabs and the Patreon link over there. There's the Super Chats as well. I'm pointing in the complete wrong directions because everything's mirrored. But one of the other ways that you can support us is just by commenting along, like you are already in the live chat going, like Chrissa, like Jason, like Justin, like Ambling Soul, and all of the other folks as well. We're so happy to see you. But we also read out comments that get left underneath the video once we are no longer live. We like to read them out at the top of the episode the week after. So, Soul, take it away. What did the people have to say to us?
So first we have from Jeremy Miller. Awesome show with the Barbarian and Peggy. We agree, Jeremy. It was great to have them on. Then we have Drunken Prayer. Always lovely to see Peggy on any after show. She's good people, and I'm still trying to figure out if Craig was going for sci-fi or if he was waiting to be screwed over in Montreal. What happened to you in Montreal, Drunken Prayer?
Yes, he does, Chris. He does kind of need one a little bit.
Okay.
And then, speaking of Chris Taylor, the panel had 2 great conversations with Peggy and the Barbarian.
There you go.
And then we have Bolts Blazing. John's Philly transformation deserves an applause. Well done, sir.
Yeah, I certainly hope that anybody who watches this show watches more than this week's episode and last week's episode, because you're going to get a real whiplash out of me. You're going to get a real tonal 180 from being the most hype I think I've ever been on the show to being a sleepy child, more or less. And hey, thankfully, at the very least, one of our guests is going to have enough energy to power a small city. So don't you worry about me being all exhausted. But we're going to have some fun conversations like this one that I'm going to continue on, is looking at these tournaments. I would definitely say I am very excited for that Damon Civil War, like you were saying, Soul. I already talked about the Final Exam King Arthur match. I agree with Boggs as well that the rematch of Bateman and Frabetti in the form of Danger Zone versus the Untouchables would be great, especially because we'll also be adding the incredible Dan Murrell and the incredible Drew McWeeny to that mix as well. And then I'm also very curious to see how Press Room versus Old Guard goes, because I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup as well, with obviously Josh Horowitz, somebody that we've been seeing a lot of, but is now, I think, it's interesting. I think there was a second where we were all kind of like Horowitz could be Rookie of the Year, but I don't know if y'all agree with me. We now know that Paige is going to be playing the winner of the Griffey Nooms versus Josh Horowitz match. And I'm kind of starting to wonder if maybe whoever comes out of that 3-person mini tournament in this larger singles tournament, if maybe they're going to have that title unlock. Obviously, we've got to wait to see how the Rick the Rage Eratus versus Frankie the Animal Alvarez match goes, which I believe could be taping tonight, probably in just a matter of hours. But yeah, I mean, kind of looking forward. Obviously, those are some more singles competitors that we're talking about right now. Is there one of those 5 folks in particular that you're feeling like could really be making the strongest case for Rookie? Or do you think it's somebody else, like a King Khan, for example?
Well, we do have a rookie with a belt right now. So I think now Thomas Harper might have the biggest case.
And we could also have Amadou Moses, who is also a rookie who's playing for a belt tonight against Kalinowski.
Yeah, they were going to be my choices, Harper and, of course, Amadou. Good luck to Amadou, who's playing today. But yeah, it's all the ones that you've said, you know, Rick the Rager, that little mini, the New York Live event thing. 3 people there involved. And yeah, Amadou and you can't look past Harper, obviously. He's the only one to win a belt so far, of course. But yeah, we'll see tonight. Maybe Amadou might shock the world. Who knows?
It's entirely possible, especially with the momentum that his faction, the Usual Suspects, has right now. I mean, I've talked specifically about how momentum in this game when it comes to the factions can really help out the players. Just that sort of sense of team morale can sometimes be a big deciding factor. And right now, looking at the Suspects, they are now and by the way, my math here might be wrong, so if these standings are incorrect and they are, you can correct me. I won't take it too personal. But right now, if I'm looking at what I have written down for the top 4 factions, I have KOrruption locking down the number 1 slot like they did last year, currently with 64 points. We have the Dungeon in second. They maybe could have used a win with 62. The Quirky Mercs at 59 with now one set of the belt. I don't know how that math works. They have the team's belts. And then in number 4 now is the Usual Suspects. And if they win the IG tournament tonight, or not the tournament, just the belt. John, buddy, poor John. Someone put hashtag bar needs a nap again on screen. Right now, things are looking pretty crazy, especially since we're getting closer to the end of the year and the end of the season. Thank you so much. We're really starting to see a more complete picture of who could be walking away with the faction title. Obviously, I think it's faction of the year and faction title are slightly different as far as they're broken up, because I think faction of the year is a specific award that is given out, whereas the faction title is something where it's just whichever faction has won wins. So I kind of wanted to ask y'all about that. If you think you could predict right now who you think is going to have the most points by the end of the year, and what faction, even if they don't have the most points, you would be most liable to give that award to at the end of the year.
So I think KOrruption will win the faction title.
Yeah.
They've got too many, especially like title potential wins. On the table. Mike might win today. Obviously, you got Marisol against Chance. So they've got a lot. They've got a lot tied in to higher point value matches. So I'd say them potentially, plus Collins still got to go through the tournament. They've got teams. They're still in the teams tournament. So I think they're my favorites. But faction of the year, I'm going to go with the team who has the most wins and least losses, and that is the Finstock Exchange. For me, they are the biggest shock value. Or obviously majority rookies. So in terms of everyone contributing points wise, I don't know if that's a fact or anything. I'm sure usual suspects have something to say about that, but I'm going to go Finstock because prove a lot of people wrong.
Well, certainly, and here's something I can toss into that equation as well, because we're, again, like you were saying, KOrruption right now has multiple opportunities to be racking up some points, especially when it comes to title matches. Looking at the singles tournament, which is the one that we're in right now, that also is very revealing. If the Untouchables beats out Danger Zone, Paige should get Rookie of the Year no matter how better anyone else does. Hey, it's entirely possible. A win over Dan Murrell in any setting is not something to be just shaken off. But it's interesting looking at who's left in the singles tournament, because there are 3 factions right now with 3 competitors left in it. Like 3 of the 4 have made it. One of them is the Finstock Exchange. One of them is the Quirky Mercs, and one of them is KOrruption. So that's right now already on the table, 3 different factions that are gearing up. Well, I've got bad news. I think he might know now. Meanwhile, I believe it was Jason. Yeah, Jason was saying the suspects seem to be starting a run like KOrruption did last year. Definitely true, especially right now with specifically Paige's momentum moving forward. Nicki Dimalanta just locking down a win in the Star Wars tournament. It is a little bit tougher for the suspects, though, because they are one of the factions with only 1 player left in the singles tournament, that being Paige, because the other 3 took losses. Spoiler for a match we'll be talking about later. Or I guess 2 of them. Oops. No, actually, because I mentioned Nicki, so that's actually spoilers for all 3. Hey, now you're an all-star. Both the suspects and the stars. Hey, that's sort of a segue. Each only have 1 player, and that unfortunately seems to be par for the course when it comes to the luck of the stars this season, not managing to string together too many wins. But do you think right now the fact that there's only who cares? I'm actually stopping myself, gang. Who cares? Sure. All right. I'm sleepy. We're talking about some interesting stuff for sure, but this is not what you came to see. Let's just be honest with ourselves, folks. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm losing my damn mind. That's why we got to get a real professional in here. We got to get somebody that really knows what they're doing. Somebody who knows what this channel is all about, because it's his name on the damn door. All right. We're talking about the former singles, multiple time belted singles champion, the multiple time belted teams champion. We are talking about, it's hard to argue when we're talking about greatest of all time to say anyone other than this man. Please, let's get that energy up. I'm mostly talking to myself as we welcome the man himself, Mr. John the Outlaw Rocha.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? How are y'all doing?
I'm doing all right, sir. I'm very sleepy, and I'm sorry, and that's why you're such a godsend to have you here on the show joining us. It's always an honor. How are you feeling today?
John Barr, wake the fuck up, son. The Outlaw's in the house. Wake up, son. Shake it off. This is Saturday. This is the Ultimate Schmoedown Aftershow, and the Outlaw is in the house. All right, so wake it up. If I had to come there and shake you, I will physically shake you. That's the mood I'm in. Thank you for having me on the show. Hello, Boggs, and hello, Soul. How are you? Good to see you all.
Okay.
Thank you so much to see your pretty faces. Well. What's going on? How was your week? Anybody got big news this week? Anybody else? What's going on?
You know, I think it would be hard pressed for even the three of us to all come together with individual news stories to top what you have brought to the table. So let's be honest on that front. John Rocha,
yeah.
I've heard a rumor that perhaps maybe you might be retiring from the Schmoedown. Is that correct to say?
I made an announcement this past week on the Outlaw Nation show on Thursday night. Did it from some area in LA. Made the announcement there that I am stepping down, but I'm stepping down with stipulations. You know, Christian Harloff, I thought was a friend. And the way he's treated me this year, the way things have gone for our faction, some of the stuff that's really angered me and frustrated me. And now he wants to just take me out to the back of the Schmoedown house and shoot me in the head like an old dog. Well, that's not how it works. All right. This is the Outlaw. That means I'm Shane. I'm riding away on my turns, and I'm taking out Jack Palance, whoever the hell Jack Palance is. And Christian Harloff is going to give me my last match at Spectacular. In fact, I got it written down here. It's 70 days until Spectacular, Harloff. Woo! So you better give me my damn match. I'm getting ready. I'm starting to work out again, starting to train with my crew again. I'm getting ready for that match because I know the fans are going to want me to have one last ride in the Schmoedown. And what the hell is a Spectacular without the Outlaw? Even last year, I've never missed a Spectacular yet. Even last year, they found a way to shoehorn me in as a manager when Tom got lost on his way to the stadium. So that's how it works. So I'm here to tell Christian Harloff and everybody in the Schmoedown, the Outlaw deserves one last ride. You punks, you deserve to give me a one last. You deserve to see me show you how it's done one last time, for God's sakes.
That's more than fair. I would say, obviously, we are filming this while they are prepping for one of the many Scum and Villainy Cantina matches right now, where I know, at the very least, your faction mate, Rick the Rager Radis,
that's right, the
is going to be representing for the Finstock Exchange. I guess I do have to ask, is that going to be one of the matches where Dagnino manages to get himself over there? Or is this going to be another one where we got to substitute in a Lieberman or a Robinson? God bless them all.
Let me tell you something. The way we've built the Finstock Exchange is next man up, next woman up. It doesn't matter. You step up. If Tom can't be there, somebody else can be there to manage. If somebody can't compete, somebody is there to take that spot to compete. That's how we did it from the beginning. That's how we built this faction up. You know, I could fill the Grand Canyon with the amount of people who cried about our draft and laughed and joked and made all their. Where are they now? I think the stars are all the way down. Where are they now? Making all their jokes, making all their funs. And look what happened with the Paige Frabetti match. Oh, I thought this was the second coming. Whoops. See, you talk your mess against the Finstock Exchange, and you go crashing like Evel Knievel jumping a canyon. All kinds of promise till you get to that top, and then your rocket shatters in half, and you crash down into the ravine. That's how it works, all right? So if Tom doesn't show up, someone fully capable of showing up. Taylor managed the Barbarian to a victory. Ty has managed victories. It's incredible. I haven't got my hands dirty yet managing any of the people yet because I live in San Diego. A lot of these are live matches, and I want to be there for them. But I'm doing the best I can here as support and helping them to train and playing them and getting them ready. So I'm very proud of this faction. Wherever we end up, nobody thought in October, where we're around the corner from October, we would be in a position to challenge for the faction title. And here we are. The dossier. Hashtag trust the dossier.
First of all, I wish I could get you saying whoops and put it directly into my coffee cup. That's something that hopefully the top scientists, once they figure out COVID, that's the next thing that we got to prioritize, put it on the docket.
Yep.
The second thing, obviously, we got some lovely commenters up here in the live chat. Thank you so much, gang. Don't forget Streamlabs and Super Chats if you're able to. We always appreciate it.
Yeah.
But right off the bat, I see one of the many wonderful voices in the Schmoedown world at large, Tim Sim, with just a comment of a very confounded emoji face. And I think that's the way that a lot of folks were feeling after your announcement, just because this was something that, unfortunately, in not being able to see a lot of you this season, particularly in the recent months, I think this was something that made a lot of people kind of like really sit up in their seats a little bit. So I wanted to ask really quickly, like, when did these feelings of feeling specifically betrayed by Harloff, did it start right with the announcement of who was going to be in these tournaments? Like, what kind of brought this to the forefront?
Well, there's a lot of things that have been happening the last couple of years in my life, and I've been I've been talking about it, been hinting at it, been kind of working through the process, and I knew it was going to be a massive decision to make this decision to retire, and I just kind of came into this place emotionally and mentally like it's time. It's time to kind of. I've given everything I can. I didn't retire. I didn't quit with 2 belts on my shoulder because I was afraid of defending them. I stuck around and took all the slings and the arrows and the hits. I gave you 3 TKOs to start this year. 1 question away from beating Ben Bateman. I got all my questions right in our match against Final Exam, and then I missed a couple of questions in the match with Ben Bateman and Dan Murrell. So I've had a hell of a year. Played a hell of a great year, but unfortunately, I'm in the position that I'm at. Christian Harloff talked me out as a friend, supposedly talked me out of going into the singles tournament, said, hey, why don't you step aside, let someone else kind of come in. And then all of a sudden I have no matches for the rest of the year. It's a tricky move by by whatever he is, the owner of the Schmoedown. Tricky damn, after all these years of friendship, to have him turn on me like this just shocked the hell out of me. So yeah, I went in guns blazing the other night because I know the nation. Listen, you can have an army, you can have a brigade. I have a nation, and that already has an army, already has multiple brigades. So I know what I'm bringing to the forefront here to pressure Christian Harloff to give me one last match. I damn well deserve it. He knows I built this thing from the bottom up. Nobody would be doing the stuff that I'm doing if it wasn't for me. Nobody would be doing stuff that I do when they're doing their characters if it wasn't for me. And anybody insulting that on Facebook groups is completely off base. Let's put that out there as well.
There we go. I guess I got to do some reading of the Facebook groups real quick. Oh yes, Tim is coming in with these hard. It's like the White House correspondence. You know what I mean? I feel like he's coming up with the hard-hitting questions. So he's asking. So the tweet of putting a rookie from the exchange over was a lie, I believe, in reference to you specifically tweeting about how you wanted to kind of let specific rookies from the Finstock exchange shine. And obviously, I believe this goes without saying, but just to make sure it's on the record, you saying that you feel like you were talked out of the tournament is not like besmirching the other wonderful members of the Finstock exchange. This is just you saying you also feel betrayed specifically in like wanting to be a part of it and then getting talked out of it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what Christian Harloff did in placing our heralded rookies against tougher competition than they should have been. And if I had gone in, I would have been playing one of these rookies and probably wiping the floor with them and just putting them to rest, but literally putting their headstone in this large cemetery I have for my victory. So that would have been the situation and more points for the Finstock exchange. But Christian Harloff has a thing for Finstock. He has a bias against Finstock. It's clear with the decisions he's made this year. It's clear with the way things have gone down. He has an issue with the Finstock exchange, and by definition, an issue with me. It's clear. So we are pressuring him to give me one last match. Give me my flowers. He's tried to take too much credit, and it's time to call him out on it. That's for damn sure.
Goodness gracious. Well,
and Tim Sim, you want answers, Tim Sim? You donate $100, you Astros fan. You don't get it for banging on a trash can and wasting my time. You want real answers? You put in, son. What's
there
next?
We go. That's the great plug for the Streamlabs as well. Streamlabs.com/The Schmoedown Show. Feel free to donate $100.
Give me my money.
Astros. Give him his money because then maybe I'll get some to buy a single cup of coffee. So I want to toss it on over to you. You are obviously a big part of the heart and soul of the Outlaw Nation. I hope it's not too presumptuous to say that. But I want to ask you kind of your thoughts on this as well, Soul.
I have to also give credit to all the other people in the Outlaw Nation, where everyone is important. Everyone's a good part of the Outlaw Nation. We cannot be the nation without each member that we have in it. So my question to you is, what was it like not just having the Outlaw Nation like proper, but so many people tweeting out at Harloff, one last ride? Was it more than you expected? Because I know I was seeing Twitter was blowing up about it.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. but I wasn't surprised when the Outlaw puts the call out for real and the nation feels it, the nation responds. So I was very happy to see them taking the time to do that, to tweet at Harloff, to get him going. I saw some of the shows already build graphics and stuff like that. So no surprise that they showed up and they came out loud and proud for the Outlaw Nation and went after Christian Harloff on Twitter. And no surprise that those crappy after shows with 20 viewers an episode are sitting there complaining about it because they're jealous. Nothing but jealous of what I can do with my nation. When my nation gets going, there ain't nothing like it in the world, and there ain't nothing more beautiful than the Outlaw Nation in the Schmoedown. The greatest fandom within the Schmoedown is the Outlaw Nation, and I just came up with that in the middle of the show. One last ride, and damn if it didn't work. Great to see it. Also, don't forget, Outlaw 316 says, "Give me my match," and that's the truth there. So that's another part of it as well. And if you want to make some graphics, you want to come up with some T-shirt designs, do it, because we'll put those out there as well. Let's show up at Spectacular. If it doesn't give me a match, we're going to show up with placards, with megaphones. You think the crazy mask people are nuts? We're going to be even crazier, banging on the doors, wearing the One Last Ride shirts with the megaphones and the placards, storming that Spectacular. That's for damn sure.
Goodness gracious. There you go. Right off the bat, this is the power of the Outlaw. We got ourselves a super chat here. Maybe a little off topic, but a pressing and important question nonetheless. Does the Outlaw wear his cowboy hat in the shower? From Chris Taylor.
Chris Taylor, for $3, you're not going to get that answer. That's for damn sure. You're not going to get that answer for $3. Here's what you get for $3. That's what you get for $3. So when you get a little higher, son, then maybe I'll finish the sentence word by word and let you know if I do wear my hat in the shower. Look at this beautiful hair. Do you think I could have this beautiful hair if I wore my hat in the shower? Come on, numbnuts. All right,
I absolutely have to wear a hat in the shower, and we'll just go ahead and leave that there. Boggs, I want to toss it on over to you as well, sir. Again, I've talked you up so many times, Boggs. You're the one who's always here. You're the stalwart of this show. Through thick and thin, you are always known to hold it down here. So I want to get right to your thoughts, man. What do you feel about all this?
Yeah, so well, first of all, I was listening to that stream, Rocha, saying that Soul is your favorite patron. That caused a whole fuss in the Outlaw Nation. Wow, so that was a shock. We had some infighting for a couple of hours that day. That was
sometimes
fun.
I have to light a fire under the ass of the nation so they can step up to the plate a little. Some of y'all get a little soft, so I got to get you back in training. You thought, oh, the Outlaw ain't playing. We can sit back, eat our pizza, play our video games. Get back in the gym. All right, keep going, Boss.
Damn right. So since we're since we're talking about your career, retiring, let's be a bit reflective for a second. So do you have? I'm just wondering.
You're gonna make Aaron Lister cry, but all right, let's do it.
He's coming in later. We'll pause that for now. But being reflective.
Yeah.
Obviously you've gone on. You had so many ups and downs. 4-time champ, of course. Is there anything you regret at all? Is there anything that you would do again if you had the chance, or is there anything that you would kind of do differently at all? Just wondering, because you have so many kind of ups and downs.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the number one thing is I wish I was the player I am now when we played the Patriots just once. I think there was a lot of beating myself before I walked through the curtain against those guys the second and third time, because I always felt I was better than both of those guys, but we couldn't quite get it done. And any little bump in the road immediately had me going down the wrong road, and that's something you got to learn in time. And I had to learn that myself. I think I would absolutely whoop the Patriots with any partner I could pick up at my level now, no problem at all. So that's one of the regrets I have more than anything else, really, because I that's the one thing I couldn't do was beat the Patriots. It's crazy how many people I have beat, but the Patriots are my nemesis in my mind always.
Great answer. And secondly, onto that, speaking about the Patriots, obviously, Schneider's also retired recently. Just thoughts and comments on that. I don't know if you commented on that too much. Obviously, he is a older staple in the league. You go back from like Collider days and stuff. Is he one of the targets or potentials for that match at Spectacular?
I don't know, man. All I said was give me my match. And Harloff better not give me some nobody, or better not give me someone lower in the rankings, or in terms of accomplishments. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want someone who's won a belt once and then giving it up right afterwards. I want someone who's actually defended belts. I want someone who's actually been to the mountaintop multiple times. That's what I merit. If it's my last match ever, I deserve someone of my quality or higher. And there ain't that many people, really, it's single digits who are higher than the Outlaw in terms of accomplishments in this league. No one's better than me in doing everything as a whole, but there are people who've accomplished just a little bit more than me in this league. So that's what I'm looking at. Snyder's retired, though. I don't think he's ever coming back, and he's chilling doing what he's doing. So I don't know if he's a possibility, but that's what I would say to that.
Yeah, well, and I actually have a question that bleeds right into that, because one of my personal favorite Rocha matches would have to be one of the ones that was released to the wider world outside of the Schmoedown Patreon, which was the Fatal 4-Way match of champions from a little while ago with you, Dan Merle, Kevin Smets, and Alex Damon.
Yeah.
And so that kind of got my mind thinking, especially because one of the constant points of conversation in the Schmoedown world is what the Mount Rushmore is of the Schmoedown, who exactly falls on that plane. So I kind of wanted to ask, let's say you got your ultimate dream match when it came to the Spectacular. Let's say you could do a Fatal 4-Way where it's you and the other 3 people who you think merit to be in the discussion of the like Mount Rushmore potential greatest. Who would be the other 3 competitors that you would want to face down if we're talking all-time best of the best dream cast?
Wow, that's a hell of a question. Obviously, Dan Merle. I think Rachel Cushing is definitely in the conversation to be on that Mount Rushmore. Oh, the 4th. Who would you all want to see as the 4th? I don't know. The 4th is always tough. I can't put Kalinowski in there because he's never won the singles title. And to me, that matters. No offense to Mike. He's an incredible champion. He's won that IG belt multiple times. He's won the tag. He's beat me for the tag belt twice now. Yeah, we beat him in Orlando live. But like, so I don't know if I could put him up there. And even if Chance was to somehow pull off the miracle, it still wouldn't qualify him in my mind to be up there just yet. So I think you got to be consistently good in tags and singles to be on that Rushmore. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, right off the bat, I see 2 choices here. I see a few choices now.
Ooh,
yeah.
Bibbs.
I like that idea.
We got Ethan.
I like Bibbs a little bit better. Ethan's off in Hawaii drinking Mai Tais. Bibbs still lives and breathes this damn league. So, yeah, I would love to play Bibiani one more time. Lord knows we've become friends now over the last year or so, and I really appreciate and worship that guy and everything he does. So I would love to get him in the ring with maybe me, Dan, and Rachel. That would be an awesome situation for sure. And I know, Rachel talks about not being part of the league. But for someone who's not part of it, she sure tweets a lot about the league. She sure dives into certain things. So I think Rachel's still somewhat connected or plugged into, like anime. She still has a little cord sticking out, stuck into the league a little bit, which is good because that means there's a chance that maybe we can talk her into coming back for one last ride.
Oh,
one
yeah.
last match. Who knows?
And I
And
think,
then we have
unfortunately,
Jason too saying Snyder, he did win the team's belt with 2 different teams. So that was
I did that.
another.
It was no big deal. Did he win a
I
singles
know.
title?
well, and that's
Yeah.
kind of my question as well. I might be reading too much into this. Let me know if I'm mistaken. But when I hear you talk about, how you won those belts and never walked away from them,
Yeah.
one of the names that is getting tossed out here in the chat is, of course, Sam Levine.
Nah.
That I thought that might be the case, but I wanted to put it
'Cause
out
I know-
there nonetheless.
Because I know Sam has a great relationship with Christian Harloff, so Sam would ask for 75 challenges per match. So I know he would want to challenge every question. But the Spectacular would be our match would be 4 hours long. So Spectacular would have to be like the WWE WrestleMania, where it's just me and Sam for one night, and then everyone else on the other night. That's exactly how it would go, for God's sake.
They do that instead of the free for all, because it's like, it's the same amount of time, but we'll just use the same number of questions we'd use for a free for all.
Exactly.
Oh, good.
So
And
we
I
do
already,
have-
beat his teams twice this year. So, all right, go ahead. Yeah, what do you got?
I was going to say we do have a number of patrons wanting to come in, but I do have to. I have to ask you this question, Rocha, before we get them in and stuff. But you're a football man.
Yep.
As of a lot of us watching, obviously Premier League's on fire this year. Liverpool strong.
Watched it this
City
morning.
City and Chelsea obviously played today. We've got Man United with Ronaldo. Thoughts on the Premier League? all playing Champions League. I think
Yeah.
PSG are playing City, I believe City.
Yeah. So
This week, and Chelsea playing Juventus. So we've got huge matches in the Premier League. I thought, what's your thoughts on that? And obviously, who do you think is going to win? Because we've got so many big teams playing at the moment?
The league, I think right now, I think if we had handled our business against Brentford this morning and Salah hadn't shot that shot right over the top of the crossbar, I think we're in pole position with a 3-point lead in the league going into a match against Man City in Anfield, and having a 6-point lead in this league right now is so essential and so important. And we've been lucky on the injury front for the most part this year, whereas last year we weren't. So I think we're still a dark horse favorite to win this damn thing. City right now should win it. On paper, absolutely. Cristiano Ronaldo, we already saw it today. Southampton, he wasn't able to score the goal. They didn't even let him kick the penalty kick. That tells you the man's old. I hate to break it to all the Manx out there, but the motherfucker is old. So he's only going to give you so much. He's not going to be able to consistently give you goals every game or give you moments of wonder. So I think City is the team here. Good combo of young guys and guys in their prime. But I think we have a really good shot if we get back to our winning ways, and we've been looking good. We got to fix that leaky defense, though. That's the problem. Yeah.
And you think Salah will be top scorer? Because you've got Lukaku,
Yes.
you got Kane, Ronaldo.
I think Salah will absolutely be top scorer. He's just hungry. And, Mane's regressing a little bit. Jota has got a poacher's heart, but his touch is not always great in front of the goal. So until he kind of rectifies that, I think it's going to be Salah still at the end of the year. Yeah, for sure.
There you go. I also had a question for you before we bring on the lovely patrons, which, by the way, patreon.com/John Rocha. It's not too late. You got like 2 more minutes. One of the things that you mentioned, somewhat offhandedly in the stream as well, is the idea of writing a book. So I wanted to ask specifically.
So you did watch the stream, John. Okay,
I did watch the stream. That's part of why I'm so sleepy, because I had to get ready for this. I had to watch everything. I want to make sure I'm in the know. But I had to ask, because obviously you were talking a little bit about how, maybe you'd write a book about your time in the Schmoedown. You mentioned also that Ken Knapsack had written his Star Wars book, Why We Love Star Wars.
Yeah, I have it here somewhere.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious, like, thinking back on that, is that something you've been thinking more about? Like, if you could write a book on something, would it be specifically like you Schmoedown related? Would it be about a favorite movie franchise of yours?
I think, I've thought about writing a Westerns book for quite some time. And certainly that's something that I think would be great to write. If I can, concoct a pitch and get that publishing company that was so great to Ken Knapsack and Jason Inman, Alicia Malone, and others, I think I could write a book like that. I think someone has to write the definitive Schmoedown book. And I don't want it to be any of the Schmoedown rundown guys who are biased. I would want to write it because I'd keep it fair. I think I'd keep it fair. The Outlaw would be fair and down the line, fair and balanced. That's how the Outlaw would be. I think there's no doubt about it. So, yeah.
It's like the Thanos meme with the... Hold on. I have a pen. John. Goodness gracious. There you go. Nope. Great.
Good job.
Hey,
Good
Soul,
job.
You're a professional. Do you have any final questions for our dear Outlaw before we bring on the wonderful patrons?
Well, I have a question for you, John Barr. Who's the first patron to come in?
Oh, well, goodness gracious. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that would have to be Aaron Klister.
Hey,
if Aaron is there.
What's up, kid?
Hello. You're
Wake
live.
up.
Hello, everybody. I have terrible internet service, so it keeps breaking up. So if I come over or if I can't hear you or anything, or if it gets stalled out, I apologize. First of all, it is lovely to see all 3 of you. Boggs, you beautiful son of a bitch. So it's
you can't say that every time.
You, John, I love your hosting.
Thank you, bud. This guy.
No, he was
Rocha, sir.
He was right to go to Rocha. That's fair.
I hope this doesn't come out.
I got 21 minutes, then I got to jump off. So let's for everybody who's waiting.
I'm going to make this as quickly as possible.
Let's do it, my man. I love you.
I'm going to make this as quickly as possible. As a former military member, I know you're a former military member too. As a person, as a fucking icon of the Schmoedown, as someone who has given me so much inspiration and motivation every time I want to give up on something, especially with my kid. I just want to walk away from home sometimes. I always hear you say, especially that, at the end of that match, that fucking David O. Russell question, and you, the Outlaw, I saw Rocha, everyone saw Rocha stop and the Outlaw just kick in and just say, no, you got to keep going. You have given all of us in the Outlaw Nation a chance to taste a piece of that pie. So there's 2 things I got in common with you. I hope this doesn't come off as corny, but sir, I would just very much like to give you a salute. You are just amazing. You are just awesome. And it's going to suck the Schmoedown without you. But my question is, what keeps you so motivated? What keeps you so inspired to be the best at everything? Schmoedown included and everything else you do in your life.
I think because when I was growing up, I was told that I wasn't. I was told that I was stupid. I was told that I was fat. I was told that I was ugly. I was bullied until I was 15 years old. I was beat up constantly until I was 15 years old. And I had people even in my family who doubted what I could do. And joining the military, when I first was experiencing depression at 19 years old, changed my life. I met a drill sergeant there in my AIT who turned around my perspective and said, these people who put you down is the motivation, is the fuel that you can use. If you know how to harness that fuel, you can turn it back on them. You can show them and let that motivate you. So that's always been my thing. I always have a voice in my head from someone saying, that's not good enough. You're not going to be able to do it. You got to get up and fight again. Get up and do better. Get up and keep going. Don't quit. And so it's always been my mantra. Has it always been the best thing? No, I've had to come to terms with some of that, but that's overall what it is. I have this belief that I'm destined for certain things. And so I dial into that belief. And when things happen, it reaffirms that belief even more. So, Christian Harloff has opened the door for a lot of people, but I think I'm one of those people that took that ball and ran like nobody else and ran with it like nobody else. So, yeah, but I appreciate it.
We wouldn't have characters without you. That's for damn sure.
Thank you. And listen, you guys inspire me as much as you say that I inspire you guys inspire me right back. You don't understand how much I appreciate your DMs, all of y'all's DMs on internet, on the social media stuff. Like I read them. I may not respond to them all, but they really mean a lot. And if I ever do write a book, I will ask permission to include some of those in the book for sure.
Well, what is a nation without a leader? Right. So that's all I'll say. Real quick, anyone who's a fucking hater, because we got fucking haters in the goddamn Outlaw Nation, and they belong in the fucking dumbass Action Army. Enough with this bullshit talk of like 4th round Rocha. You know what's doubled? Because Rocha is always going to be double than you. You know what's double of 4? 8. Turn that bitch sideways. Infinity. Rocha's infinity always. Mic drop. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
See you.
Goodness gracious.
Oh,
you'll love to see it. What a gem. What a treat. Much like our next patron as well. We have, of course, another one of the stalwarts. He's probably here as often as Boggs is. It is the fantastic Drunken Prayer.
Hey, what's up, Chris?
God damn it, I love that boy.
Oh my God, you have hair. Oh my God, it's been so long. What's up, dude? Oh.
No, I'm just hiding it.
All right.
Rocha, I'm not going to come here and kiss your ass.
Okay.
I'm going to come and ask you the hard question.
Please.
What's the truth? What's the real truth? We all know you're really retired because you're afraid of facing Canada Rocks in Brennan. Is that just tell us the truth? Is that the real reason you retired?
Hold on, let me look and see where they're at right now. No.
That's my question. I will go.
You had one question. Make it quick.
No, that was generally it.
That was it? Oh, okay. No. I hope I get to play them later on. One of them later on this year. Brennan talks a lot of shit for a guy who doesn't want to be talked shit about. And Royko loves talking shit. So it's great that those guys have found their voices in the Outlaw Nation Trivia League, which you can join if you want when you come into the Patreon after 3 months of membership. But it's great and it's fun. And I will play one of them at the end of the year after Spectacular. Ooh. So I'll have one last ride in the Schmoedown, and I might have one last ride in the Outlaw Nation Trivia League.
Well. Oh, that's news to me. Well, yeah. Oh, well, heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. Schmoemanati.
There we go.
John, my question wasn't pointless. We got something out of it.
Say it again,
Chris.
All right.
Oh, I don't know. Something. I think John cut off.
Yeah, it was reasonable.
Oh, did I cut?
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
See you later. I will say, I think part of Brennan feeling as confident is partially our fault because he keeps beating the hell out of us whenever we do trivia. Brennan's so much better than the rest of us.
He's good.
It's really crazy.
But I
next
beat him,
up,
so yeah.
Wow, that's why you're the boss. That's why you're the boss. Next up, we have Canada Rocks.
Oh shit, Royko's
Hey, John, how you doing?
Good
Your
to see you,
Canadian ambassador is here. Of the
Wait, I didn't assign you Canadian. I did not assign that.
That's hey. I just happened to be open and I took it. That's what I do. I take it, John. If I see it, I take it. John, you know how much I love you, and you know one of my favorite moments in the Schmoedown is your squeal when you won the first time.
It was not a squeal.
Of joy or whatever it is, it's wonderful. But that's a John Rocha moment. So I want to know, what do you think is the quintessential outlaw moment in the Schmoedown?
Oh man. Wow.
Ah, gotcha, John.
Well, because there's a number of them that I think about. Because the first time I did the promo on JT at the live event,
That
right? When
was
the
good.
nation came with me, that was when I realized, oh my God, there's real power here in the live matches. And it also turned around my point of view of like, because when you follow the group or you follow some of these toxic fandoms in the Schmoedown who talk all kinds of mess and they're really bitter and angry about their lives, so they take it out on you as the outlaw. All those fourth round Rocha people, all those sad people, you just kind of go, wow, there's so much hate for me. And then you go to the live shows and you're just like, wow, there's so much love. I had no idea. It's really eye-opening. And those are if any of the new players are watching, trust me, it's a complete different experience going to a live event when they're on your side and they love you, or they're booing you if you're a heel. They're in it with you. It's incredible. The live fans are the fans that I most love in the Schmoedown, and they wake me up. Same thing when we went to Orlando. Kalinowski said afterwards he was blown away by how much they turned on Corruption, and it really unsettled him. It destabilized him for the match, So I call them, it's the nation. The 12th man almost of the Schmoedown is the Outlaw Nation. They're incredible when they show up. So that moment is important, but I think the quintessential Outlaw moment is that moment after, and it was, I think Aaron brought it up, after we got screwed over by Mark Ellis's decision, and I always claim it was a screw over. I really was done. I was like, I'm not doing, it's too much. And then that moment came where like, boom, no, you get back and then go after Bibbs. And I went after him like crazy in that promo. And I think it was maybe that's maybe the quintessential Outlaw moment, because the Outlaw isn't about winning 75 belts, right? What makes people gravitate to what my journey is, I was always real. And some people can be mad about it or hate on it. Feel free. But I know the truth. And the reason people gravitate to my journey is because they themselves have experienced success and failure. So they gravitate to my story. And so that moment is a failure followed by a success. And I think that was a quintessential Outlaw moment. And if you notice, when I beat Bibian, I didn't jump up and down and go crazy. It was matter of fact. I didn't squeal. It was matter of fact because I knew I was destined to beat him, So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I hope you get your match, because I'm going to be in LA for sure. And if one of the things I get to see you live, that would just be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to it. So goddamn Christian, give him a match.
Give him a match.
Give him a match.
Oh,
We're allowing Reiko into the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I'm
smuggle
the
him in.
ambassador, for God's sakes. Of course you're going to let me into the country.
Well, we're going to need to sort that mess out, I think, off screen. But thank you so much, Reiko, for the wonderful question.
Good to see you,
As
brother.
we move on to, I believe, our final patron for this next little segment, it is the lovely Maria. Hello.
Hi, Maria.
Hello. And how are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, never mind. You don't care.
I do care.
I wanted to ask something. I don't think so. You didn't get a chance to ask my question, right?
No, not yet.
About
So
the
you can
origin of
ask it here live.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should. What's the origin of the Outlaw? Did he come to you in a dream, or has he helped you out since you were a child, or who knows what?
I think that's a fair point, actually, because as I said, the bullying and stuff, it was I had a moment when I was 15 years old, and then I had a moment in the military. Those are the two moments that kind of solidified this driving force behind me. And then when I started doing the Schmoedown and I lost to Mance, that was when it really kicked in, because everyone was, making fun. Oh, a guy who has a Star Wars show loses on a Star Wars question, right? And I think that loss is one of the greatest losses in my life, because it really just kind of woke me up to dedicate myself to it more. The creation of it is obvious, and Christian Harloff and I will both say this. It was a conversation on the phone. It was literal a conversation. He said, I got to get heels in this. Will you be the top heel to start off the Schmoedown? Teach people what I want them to understand about this game going forward. That it's not insults. It's not negative shit. It's talking shit. And there's a difference. And people trying to change that in the game, go and do your bar trivia. That is not the Schmoedown. The Schmoedown is characters, promos, talking shit, and matches. That's the Schmoedown. You want to do something else? You want to change that or take out the talking shit, take out the promos? Then you go play in Candyland at a bar. This is real. This is fun. This is awesome. We need to make the Schmoedown great again. That's the honest truth. We got to make the Schmoedown great again. And if nothing else, my one last match, and Harloff, you're going to give me my last match, I am going to show you how the hell it's done one more time. That is what made this league so great. And people who insult it, people who don't understand it, people who kind of shit on it, they don't get it. They don't, because they don't have that natural impulse. Well, we're not changing things for you. This is the league. Be part of the league. As Clark once said, we are the league. This is the league.
Yeah, except for that make the Schmoedown great again reference that kind of gets jumbled in my head from something else. Everything was good that you said. And I want to ask one last really quick question.
All right.
Boxers or briefs?
Yikes.
Would you expect anything less of me?
You know what? Because you're a patron and I appreciate your work and you're helping us out on the Patreon. I will say I wear H&M boxer briefs. They're nice. They feel nice. There you go.
So you do a crossbreed. There you go.
I do. Like
nice.
Always. Yeah. Thank you very much.
We love you, John. Have a great evening. And tell your girlfriend I'm sorry about that question. Bye.
No. She's not going to mind.
God bless Maria.
I like this.
Well,
that is deep cut. I agree. Yeah.
Very fair. Now, I did want to ask, because I know obviously you are a busy man. You've got a few things going on. We have a few Discord questions we can blaze through really quickly.
Let's do it quick.
All right. Number one, Jeremy Miller. Would you play in teams for your final match at Spectacular?
Fuck no. Next.
There we go. Aaron Clister with the $5 super chat. Make Schmoedown great again. MSGA. Ooh, we can rework it. Schmoedown should be better. Let's we can get rid of.
I like Schmoedown great again. Hell no.
Okay.
He doesn't get to own those words. He doesn't get to own those words. Let's go.
That's you know what. That's fair. Gift Taylor. What's one rule you would change in the Schmoedown?
I don't know if there's a rule I would change. Maybe the benefit of the doubt rule. I know that's ironic that I'm the one saying that, but if we're going to be good, you better learn how to spell. You better learn how to say their names. You better learn to pronounce everything correctly. You better learn the actual name of the movie. I think that's really important. This benefit of the doubt crap is ridiculous, to be honest. And I know I'm saying that as the Headley guy. I know I'm saying that, but the David O. Russell nonsense. David O. period Russell is not David O. Russell. That's the difference. And I think it's a disrespect to the artists, to the creators, that you can't even get their name right, no matter how it's spelled. Elba. If you can't spell it Elba or Elba, you don't get the point. That's the thing that I would change 100%. And the enforcement of this 1 second rule, which I've seen go into the crapper all year. The second they do the answer, you don't get to retract it. The second you say the answer, that's it. You know, no offense to the Godfather, but that Drew McWeeny question should not have stood. I have my feelings about who voted one way or the other because of their bias there, but that should not have stood in my overall. Oh, we lost John. Okay.
Okay, I'll ask the next question since
Sure.
John disappeared. Using the blind from Justin T. Using the blindfold in your match versus Christian was a classic Outlaw moment. Where did you get the idea to do that?
Literally driving to the studio that day. I was driving by. I was just thinking of a way, like, how can I unsettle Christian and how can I protect myself? Because I knew the entire crowd was all of Christian's friends, and Makuga leading the way, loudly screaming for Christian. And I was like, how do I shut them out? And I remember my meditation. I remember my Buddhist meditation training. And I was like, what's going to get me to focus and just stare into the blackness and get lost in that? And so as I was driving, I was like, oh, a blindfold would be funny. Plus, what do you say when you're young? I can beat you blindfolded. You know, you say those things. And so I was passing by the CVS. I knew the CVS was there in Burbank. And I immediately did a U-turn, jumped into there. I was like, do you guys have sleep masks? Went, bought one, put it in my pocket, in my jacket pocket. And I didn't even know I was going to use it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to put it here just in case. And when we came out there and the boos and the hatred from the crowd, I was like, oh no, this is perfect. And it's a perfect way to unsettle Christian because we're old school East Coast boys. So saying that you can beat someone blindfolded upsets the other person and it kind of insults them a little bit. So I knew it was a way to kind of rattle Christian a little bit. So it was organic. In the moment, hadn't planned it out other than maybe a half hour before, and it just kind of worked out, you know.
Thank you to that CVS in Burbank.
No
And
shit.
our last question here from Drunken Prayer. If you could replace any actor in any role with yourself, what role / movie would you pick?
And listen, I love Gerard Butler. Go see Cop Shop. That's a damn fun movie. I would replace him in 300, King Leonidas. No film encapsulates the outlaw and the Outlaw Nation more than 300, right? The entire Schmoedown fandom are the Persian army coming at us, and we are King Leonidas and the Athenians. We are the ones there at the gates of hell, and I want to lead the Outlaw Nation one last time into battle, into war, 300 style. So I would replace myself and get into shape somehow, or wear a shirt with abs and be in that movie, for God's sakes, because I love that movie.
So now we need Nerd Chronic to put your face on
Spartans.
that for your next promo.
Oh, sorry, Spartans, not Athenian. Spartans. Sorry about that. Yeah.
But that was the last one. Thank you so much, Rocha.
Thank you.
John, anything since you came back?
That's right. Well, once again, my computer decided to do its own little whoops, which is fun and which is good. But that's why, thank God, every time I mess up, we have a professional on hand to bring back up the energy, because we do have a second guest that we wanted to bring on so that the two of you could have a little bit of a one-on-one time just to chat it out. We have one of the easy contenders for Rookie of the Year. She just had an incredible match against Ben the Boss Bateman. She is the leading representative of the usual suspects in the singles tournament, and will soon be representing them in the teams tournament once again against Ben Bateman. Ooh, boy. Everybody, please welcome back to the show the incredible Boston badass Paige Frabetti.
Woo. Hey, you guys are too kind. Thank you.
Of course, we're so happy to have you on. How you doing?
Still on cloud 9, that's for damn sure.
You deserve it. Great match. What an incredible! I mean, you took out one of the guys that people have been talking about for years as a potential superstar in this league, potential legend in this league, and you did it on the 5-pointer. Incredible work, Paige. You know, I tweeted your match out. I followed you right afterwards. We had a little bit of a back and forth. I knew from the beginning you got this game, and I love the new players that come in and get this game with character work, with preparation, with promos, and then with matches, and you taking care of business. I mean, look, when you lost to Gubbins, who saw you beating Bateman in the same year, pretty incredible work, and you deserve all the accolades you're getting online.
No, thank you so much, man. I mean, it's a huge honor just to share the screen with you right now. But you've always been one of my favorites, man. And I look up to you and all of the greats in the Schmoedown, and that's what's got me to the point. I mean, kudos to my faction and my manager, Sam Levine, because I really wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them. But for all of you greats out there, though, who led the pathway. I'm not talking about Bateman, but led the pathway for me to be able to get this, because I need to give that man a taste of his own medicine, and I'm very glad I got to put him in his place and do so.
Hell yeah. That was, oh my God. I know this is y'all's show, but I got to say before I go, it was the most amazing. They put a big smile on my face, because when you pull stuff behind the scenes, karma of this game comes back and bites you in the ass. And Paige Frabetti handling her business there. I'm sure no one was more shocked than Ben Bateman to lose. And Sam Levine, I'm sure, enjoyed the hell out of that situation for sure. So.
Well, no, man, thank you so much. I mean, it's huge words coming from you. That's for damn sure. So I truly
want to see
it, man.
I want to see the future. Paige Frabetti versus Marisol McKee for the belt. Two women going for the belt. Two badass ladies. Marisol's another one I saw a year ago, and I was like, this is a potential singles champion. So to see her in the position now, she earned it. To have you and her going at it for the belt, I would be front row. I'm not even bullshitting. I would fly into whatever city that is. I will sit front row and probably even have a tear finally having two ladies going at it for the belt, which a lot of us have been waiting to see for quite some time. So shout out to you, Paige. I hope you get there.
Thank you. I mean, that's the goal and dream. So we shall see where this journey takes me, but lots to make that happen, but I'm planning to do so. So
right on. Respect. All right, I got to get out of here. Let Paige have the floor. Paige, thank you very much. Much love to you. Much respect to you. Go knock them dead. And you say look up to me. I think the time's coming when I will look up to you and what you do in the game. So much love to you. Respect.
Dude, mad respect for you. Thank you so much, boss man. You're the outlaw for the reason. So thank you.
Peace, peace.
One last ride.
You're okay.
Have a love, John Rocha. God bless him, but also God bless you, Paige. Huh? My goodness.
Oh,
How you-
jeez.
That kind of said it all right there, huh?
Literally. I mean, I knew I could do it, but when you go into these matches, you never know the cards you're going to get dealt. I should say questions you're going to get dealt. So you just never know. I mean, of course, I wanted to be able to talk the talk because, I mean, talk the talk, walk the walk.
Yeah.
But I knew I could do it. So I was just hoping I would be able to answer those questions. I had 2 little mistakes, but so didn't he. And guess what? His just cost him a little bit more than mine. So.
Very true. Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of in the same position we were in recently when we had a Harper on after he won the Star Wars belt. Because, like, right now, my biggest question is, how does it feel to have called your shot coming into this game and already achieved it? Like, we're not even a year into your season, and already the thing that you were like from the get-go, hey, I want to get this guy and beat his ass. You've already done it. You've, like, ascended that one mountaintop already. How are you feeling? And, like, already, what are you looking forward to next as far as potential opponents?
Oh, I mean, there's still so much to accomplish. I got to work my way through this tournament. I got to worry about teams too. But I mean, the goal in Destiny is obviously to get a belt. I want that singles belt. I want to go against Marisol. I think to have 2 powerful women going against each other, that's spectacular. I think that's a win-win for everyone. And hopefully it will be a win-win for me because that's ideally what I want at the end of the day. So I guess we'll have to see. I'm not worried about the rest of these schmucks in the singles tournament. They're just a bunch of little boys. Hopefully I get to just chuck them over because that's the game plan I plan on doing. But I'm also very excited for teams because people might be saying, Bateman, yeah, he gets a second chance at revenge now against me, but he doesn't know what's coming his way with me and Drew. So
I don't think and I love Drew McWeeny. I don't know if I've seen him as motivated on Twitter when it comes to the Schmoedown as he's been with your team up now. Because I've seen him like immediately being like, Paige knocks it out of the park in this one. You are not ready for what we are going to be doing in teams. Like, again, and he's another one, much like John Rocha, McWeeny is one of the legends in this game. So, like, has that also been a weird, surreal, because you're working now, like, hand in hand with the team of Drew McWeeny and Sam Levine. Like, that's nuts.
Dude, it's mind-blowing. It literally is. Like, Above the Line was one of the best teams to ever play in the Schmoedown. So the fact that I get to play with the former team's champion, it just gives me that more of an advantage because I know I can rely so much on my teammate. And we're just going to balance each other so nicely. Danger Zone, Danger Crap, I don't know what they're called. But those 2 guys are the same guys. Like, Drew and I, we have our strengths. Our strengths are going to balance each other out so nicely. And we have very little weaknesses. So I think we're going to be good to go in this tournament. We're not scared at all. We're called the Untouchables for the reason, guys. So
there you go. And I guess before we get too into the weeds of what we can look forward to in your next Ben Bateman match, we got to break down just how you beat him this time around in singles. And for that, we need the wonderful Soul to take charge. Soul, whenever you're ready, let's talk about this round 2 singles match. That was so very good.
Before I start, first, I got to respect Boston real quick.
Oh, wow. She's doing it. She committed.
Hey, that's a beautiful hat right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Always got to show my Boston pride, especially when we got a Boston badass here. And Paige, what a match. So first, my first question for you, that round 1, Godfather Part 3, Godfather Trilogy. Gosh. Where was your mind at in that? Did you hear the question wrong? Or was it one of those like, oh man, I just wrote Part 3 because that's who was in, all 3 of those are in that movie and it kind of just messed up.
Oh my gosh. De Niro's only in the second one. Yeah. Robert Duvall's only in the first 2. Like I made that little mistake, and when you go into it, like, I'm not gonna lie, when they say let's get ready to Schmoedown, like the nerves do go away, but sometimes you're in your head too much and you don't listen to the question all the way. I'm not gonna lie, before I even used my repeat, I just had The Godfather on there, but I was like, let me just repeat it, and then at the end, the only last part I heard of the question was trilogy, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna write Part 3 on there. It was a silly mistake of mine, but you know, sometimes you take your time and you'll be good to go. And now I've learned that, and I've learned that a lot working with Drew too, just to take your time, think it out before you answer.
And then we had Ben Bateman missing movie release dates question. Who would have think? So you guys ended up 7-7 at the end of round 1. So what was it like just being tied, making sure both of you didn't get that perfect round? He didn't get that perfect round, which he looked like he was going towards. What was it like being tied with Bateman round 1?
Oh, it felt good. I mean, I didn't want to get overconfident because I was like, damn, I could have had a perfect round technically because I just made that stupid little mistake. But there was still so much more gameplay to play that I just needed just to keep my head of the game, just keep the ball moving and just hoping for the best and hoping the rest of the cards were going to fall my way. And whew. Gotta do it at least. Round 3, it definitely did. So,
so third over to Boggs. Your thoughts on round 1 and any question for Paige so far?
Yeah, so a couple of questions. So first of all, what was he like with Guy on the desk? You know, I think that's the first time he's called a Bateman match. So seeing that happen, especially when you jumped in the stream and, you know, you've got Guy and Ben there, and obviously Kaiser's dressed as action guy as well. You thought, hey, is this like a stitch up or something? And then
I literally said that to them. I was like, wait a minute, like, is this guy gonna read his questions? Like, that's not fair because he's gonna give him all the ones he knows. I was like, I don't know if we can do this now. Like, I was trying to ask them to call someone else to call the match, but it was too last minute. So I was like, I trust you guys. Don't screw me over. So
did you know that before the match, or did you know that when you jumped in the stream?
Oh, it was once when I jumped in the stream. I was just like, Guy, you better not screw me over, boy. Because if you read his questions and either give him a little wink while you're reading them or something, you can have some fighting words after this match.
You never know. Right, you never know. And then you obviously casually getting that Halloween question and Ben struggling. I think that was the first, like, that was your first kind of dig in there, which actually like left an impact, like playing mind games. I think that was the first kind of first shot that landed really, where, you know, you were kind of, you know, you called it before the match, you know, I'm going to give a taste of his own medicine. I think that was the first moment I was like, oh, I like that. So how did that feel to give that? I think that was like on behalf of like everyone, like you done that before, so everyone was like, yes. So yeah, how was that, man?
It felt good. It felt so damn good too. That's why he was wearing black, guys. I don't know if you knew that. He was sweating under there. That's definitely why he had black on.
He was definitely.
I could feel myself getting digging under that skin, and it felt good. So
he did it.
Well, going into this round 2, spun off of disaster movies, getting David Fincher. So what was the thought process spinning away from disaster movies?
For me, I wanted just to disaster. It's weird because I love disaster films, but like some films you can consider a disaster film. Like do you consider Cloverfield a disaster film because they're destroying New York City? But maybe that's more of a horror movie. Like, it's kind of hard to distinguish what may be a disaster film. So I was like, you know what? I always have good luck. I gotta literally knock on wood right now because I've somehow have had decent luck in my round 2s. So I was like, I always spin second. Like, let's do it. And I felt good with Fincher because I was like, all right, this man has like 11 movies. I was like, they're gonna be deep cut, but I think I can do it. So,
and then unfortunately, we had that one moment of the airplane. We got that challenge in and a new question in for Bateman. So, what was it like when you were thinking? Because you paused for a moment in which I saw you throughout this match. You're pausing, you're thinking, and you're say airport. And then Christian later saying that's not the right answer. So where was your head at in that moment?
I mean, after that first little mistake, I was like, I gotta take my time now. And when I literally said it out loud and then I saw Christian's face, I was like, fudge.
Yeah.
It was
I was
like, it's a location. I think an airplane is considered like a port of transportation, not like I mean, it is a location, but like it's more of a port of transportation than a location. And obviously I've seen the film, like who hasn't seen Fight Club? So once I said it and then he said, I was like, I gotta stop giving the wrong answer and then shouting out the right answer because that's not okay to do. And I totally get that. Like, but when they're so close like that, like, come on, like an airplane's in an airport, like, hello. But I mean, they wanted the specifics and that's totally okay. I'm very glad they gave him a new question though. I will say that. I
Yeah.
was glad even though the new question was not plot related at all, which big time Oscar winning actress stars in Curious Case of Benjamin Button. But you know what? He knew it, so kudos to him. I'm not going to take anyone's correct answers away from them because at the end of this day, these questions are damn hard. So,
And then we have Ben. He spins coming of age, and Kaiser telling him, let's spin again. And Ben not listening to his manager. I think that's the first moment where you kind of see him going down. I think he might not say it ever, but I think he was nervous playing against you. And I think that shows, especially here when he decided, I'm sticking with coming of age. He gets a total of 5 out of 8 points. And so I'm going to throw it to John. Your thoughts on round 2 and any questions for Paige?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because I couldn't tell if it was an issue of fear or since obviously having gotten that 2-point steal with his second round, I think maybe it might have been an issue if he was just feeling himself. Because it did, obviously we get to hear a little bit of them kind of like talking in the background of what their thoughts are. So yeah, as far as what he had coming for him. So I wanted to ask you, Paige, like kind of what vibe you were getting off of him kind of coming into this second round here. And if you felt like, especially watching him have to kind of like check down to multiple choice a few times, if you were still feeling like, no, this is still very easily winnable for me.
Yeah, for me, I mean, your managers are there for a reason. They're out there to look for you. Like they got your back and they have the best interests in you. So I mean, I always listen to my manager when he tells me to do something. So maybe he should have done the same. I don't know. But oh man, when he was going to multiple, I was like, does he know the answers or is he playing with me? Because like you just like you never know. I mean, why would you go to multiple if you're not entirely sure? So I mean that makes sense. But I was just like, all right. So going into that round, like watching him, I was just like, I'm hoping for some steals right now. Unfortunately, he didn't say airplane instead of airport. I mean airport instead of airplane. So I didn't get any steals. But hey, I've always said this. Everything happens for a reason. Maybe if I didn't make those mistakes, I could have lost the match somehow. So you just never know what could happen. So I was like, oh man, I wish I got these coming of age questions. Like I would have went 8 for 8. I definitely would not have given him a 2-point steal. Like,
hey, I mean, to be fair, he
did well. He went 6 for 8 multiple. Like,
You went 6, yeah.
No, he went 5 for 8. Paige, you got
Yeah,
6 for 8.
6
You actually did better than him in your round 2. It was just that he got the 2-point steal, so like that's what made the like slight point differential. But you did better in your round 2 with your questions than Bateman did. So that's just another testament to how you were fated to win this. And oh boy, Soul, I'm excited to talk a little bit about round 3 because I think my favorite moment of this match had to have been the heat question.
Yeah, and we're going into this round.
It was mine too.
3. And like I said, you were taking your time. You were thinking there. And I really liked the way you played this round 3. So you get your Jason Segel Muppets question. He gets his Army of Darkness question. You get your Love Actually Colin Firth question. He misses his 3-pointer. So I'm going to stop right here. When he misses his 3-pointer, Paige, where was your mind at?
I was like, holy crap. He actually got an Oscar question wrong. And I was just like, and I knew the answer to it. So I was just like, oh my God. I was like, now he just has to hit. I was just like, no matter what, I'm going to have to hit my 5. So I wasn't just like overly confident because the game plan at the end of the day was bring Bateman to his 5. If I can get him to his 5, I know I played well. And so I was just like, and even afterwards, when they said no, it was 1, and he was like 3, I was like, still a silly boy. Thank God he didn't get points taken away for that one. Like, well, I will say, Whiplash should have been nominated for Whiplash, but he was not. So
Bateman gets his 5-pointer, and this is the quickest I've ever heard Bateman answer a question in the movie Trivia Schmoedown. And you could tell that, especially there, nerves like, I need to say it before it jumps out of my head and I lose. You play your little game there with your 5-pointer. You play the game of Bateman. You wait, you use your repeats, and then you give it to him right there. What was it like to hear and your winner playing his game?
Oh man, it felt so good to be able to like talk the talk and walk the walk, and just to give him a taste of his own little medicine. Like, obviously, at first, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just hear the question again to make sure I have my answer solidified. So I'm not going to be overconfident and give the wrong answer or something like that. But when you hear the question, you got to narrow it down because Nathan Fillion and Bill Hader have, I think it was Bill Hader, have done voiceover work in other Pixar films. And so just narrowing it down in my head, I was just like, all right, I think I'm good, but let's give this man, the waiting game sucks. So figured he could wait it out a little bit more to know if he won or not. So, or should I say, knowing that he lost. So
I'm going to throw it over to you, Boggs. Thoughts on round 3 or the whole match in general?
Yep, it was just a really good sight to see. Like I said, I think, I personally picked Bateman to win, but I 100% wanted you to win. Like, I think everyone did. It was just, good. Like, because you played the mind games, you done the smack talk, you got him rattled, you got in his head, and and just fell in your favor. And it was great to see. I'm looking forward to them guys reviewing your guys' match. I think they do it on Sundays, right? So that'll be fun. Overall, you killed it. And, you've got, a win now, against singles champ on your record. So what are your thoughts on, people talking about you being rookie of the year? And, of course, playing that next match, playing the winner of the next match, in New York, maybe getting Christian's ear to see if they can, you can film it live with them afterwards. Who knows?
Oh.
I will be there. I mean, I'm always studying, so I'll take that winner any day of the week. So if you guys want to stick around, if you guys are going to stick around afterwards, maybe we'll see if we can get one real quick in there.
It just happens in the parking lot outside.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen right on the sidewalk of New York. So,
hey,
in the alleyway,
things
actually.
could be more New York than that.
His body there when
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get some
going to leave
pizza
them in the alleyway
afterwards.
after I destroy them. So.
There
And
you
just
go.
confirm, are you the only lady left in the tournament? I don't know if that's true or just off the top of my head.
It's true.
No, Janine's still left.
Janine.
Janine's still left.
Okay.
Two great ladies.
Yes, two fantastic ladies.
Which feels good, though. I'm not going to take that away from her because I wish there was more of us in there. But I think it would just be amazing to have two women going against for the belt at Spectacular. So fingers crossed that's what happens, because I think that would be big accomplishment within the Schmoedown to see. So
definitely. And I do want to go into your post-match interview. I love when they asked, who would you like to play more, Horowitz, Griffey Dooms? And you're like, may the best boy win. So I just wanted to shout that out because I was cracking up. May the best boy win.
They haven't hit puberty yet, so I think I should be good on their part. I could probably grow a better beard than them. So
I wish I could.
John, do you have any more questions?
You know what? We're all rookies, but I take We're all rookies, but I take this game so seriously. This is like my pride and joy. Schmoedown's my little baby, so
that's why you're gonna win.
That's why you're gonna win. There you go. You heard it here first from Boggs himself. I also had a question, and this one's gonna be a little bit mean to poor Ben Bateman, who obviously, yes, we'll give him his due, former singles champion. That cannot be taken away from him. But there's been some chatter about how folks don't have they're not as impressed by Danger Zone as they thought they were going to be when that team got announced. We know obviously Ben is a very strategic person. Do you think that if you beat him in the team's tournament, he's just going to have to straight up retire and just try and be a manager? Do you think it's going to be that bad? Because I think kind of maybe. I don't know.
Dude, the game plan is to be the person to single-handedly end that man's season. So the fact that I'm getting a chance to do it again, it's a huge honor. So we shall see. We shall see.
We shall. Goodness gracious me. Well, Soul, I want to bounce on over to you because we have some Discord questions from the wonderful people over at patreon.com/John Rocha. We're also going to be bringing in some live patrons. So, hey, gang, it's not too late to sign up, pay a little bit of money, and get to ask one of the greatest to be doing it right now, currently in the Schmoedown in question. But let's start with these Discord questions that are written out first.
And first we have Jeremy Miller. He's asking, what's your favorite David Fincher movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. For me, probably Gone. I love Gone Girl. I think that's such a good damn movie. And it's got my Boston boy Matt Damon. I mean, I said Matt Damon. Ben Affleck in it. So
They're
Gone
both
Girl.
so interchangeable.
I love
now,
it.
right?
I love a flick with a crazy chicken in it. Exactly.
And the next question here we have from Gift Taylor. Who's your pick to play Bobby Orr in a biopic movie?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know why the first person that came to my mind was Taron Egerton, but he's already played Elton John, so I feel like we don't want to get him in another biopic. That's a great question. I'm trying to think of any athletes. You know what? Oh my God, why can't I think of his first name right now? Kurt Russell's son.
Oh,
Wyatt
Wyatt
Russell? It's Wyatt, right?
Mm-hmm.
He played. He was a professional hockey player before he became an actor. So I'm going with him. I think he would be able to kill it. So he was actually a goalie. Yeah, I mean Bobby was a forward, but he can still skate. I think that would be a nice pick.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to learn how to
He
skate.
needs more acting roles. He killed it in his Black Mirror episode. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that part. That part's already taken care of. And he killed it in his Black Mirror episode, and he was really good in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I think this man needs more roles.
And then our next question here is from Drunken Prayer. He asks, Grogu or Yoda? ? Interpret that however you choose.
Oh man, definitely Grogu. To have a little baby Yoda, what? Like, I could teach that thing how to talk. I mean, it probably should teach me how to talk, but yes. I mean, yes, Yoda is wise, so he can be my master. But my master right now is already Sam Levine, so I'm gonna take a baby Grogu.
Good choice. Good
He's
choice.
actually right behind me.
Hey, there.
Hey. And then we have Justin T with the last question from the Discord. Do you enjoy owning movies or do you rely more on streaming to access them?
I am obsessed with physical media. I have like over 300 Blu-rays and I alphabetize them. So this is like embarrassing, but I'll show you real quick. I have a stack of literally like 2.5 foot stack right now of Blu-rays that I need to alphabetize in my right now. Those all have to be alphabetized into the collection. So yes, I love physical media. I love Blu-rays. I just I go vinyls and I just love them. I even collect VHS tapes. I don't even have a VHS player, so I'll get a VCR though. But
Paige, I want to know before we get the patrons in, did you watch Star Wars Visions?
Did I watch what? Sorry.
Star Wars Visions.
Oh no, not yet. I need to though. I'm very pumped to because I've heard such great things about it, and I just heard like the artwork and just everything behind it. Everyone's creations were just like so beautiful and amazing. Don't worry, guys. It's on my list. That and Midnight Mass. Those are the two shows I need to watch next. So,
God bless Raul Coley. God bless that man.
Need to watch it, yeah.
All right, John, who's the first patron to come in?
The first patron that we have coming in, if I've got my list correct, which we're going to find out real soon, I believe it's Jason coming up to the floor first.
Hey, Paige, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, I just wanted to make sure. Paige, I've been a fan of yours since the beginning. I think you're amazing. You're awesome and wonderful, and I think you're a phenomenal person, so thank you so much. So my first question is, after your first loss, what did you do after that match to like come back with such a fire for the second one? Because you're now on this like really awesome win streak that we hope continues all the way till Spectacular.
Ooh, it made me so much more hungrier because it was early on in the season. Like, you don't get that much time to start to get your groove and like your feet running and such like that. So once that I lost that match, I was just like, all right, I'm hungry. I want that W. I'm not going 0-2. That's for damn sure. So I just knew I just had to put in so much work and just study as much as possible. Like I said, I'm all about physical media. So my collection of flashcards is absurd. And hopefully my house isn't flammable because of that. But it is what it is because flashcards are my saving grace, and the pile just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I'm very grateful for that. So
thanks again for everything, Paige. Honestly, you brought tears to my eyes beating Bateman because it was such a phenomenal match. And like honestly, like your expression when you won was just so amazing, and I loved it. So thank you. Good job.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much,
you.
Jason.
Jason.
All right, see you guys.
See you later. Yeah, I will say right off the bat, I've been keeping a little list of my own for potential matches of the year when we get to that discussion. Right now, I've got your match versus Bateman and your match versus Silvestrini saved on the list because I'm like, both of those were real good.
Fingers crossed, right?
Right? No one can
See, I like that you
Paige,
say
make
matches
people
of the
cry.
year and not upset of the year.
Oh, sure.
Well,
yeah.
like the upset of the year thing is like, I'd rather go for match of the year because you know what? All of y'all were wrong that just rooted against me because you guys didn't know what was coming your way. So I'm glad I was able to prove people wrong, even though I knew what I could do. So at the end, the favorite one. So
there you go. That's a good way to look at it.
I like match of the year better than upset of the year.
Hey, I'm glad to give that honor to you as it is so deserved. Next up on the Patreon contributor list. John's forgetting words. It's gonna be Canada Rocks, if I'm not mistaken. Is that who it is?
Oh, hey, it is. Hey, first of all, Paige, congratulations on beating Ben Bateman, but your job is only half done, and I am looking forward to you finishing it. But being a Canadian, you know I love hockey. It's a law up here. I believe it's a law in Boston as well. So I have a question. What is your favorite? Yeah. What is your favorite hockey film? And remember, there is only one right answer.
Ooh, pressure.
I hope you're thinking Miracle. But probably not you because you're Canadian, so you're probably thinking Slapshots.
I am thinking
for me, it's Miracle all day.
all right, I'll give it to
Mighty
you.
Ducks. Are you going with Mighty Ducks? Because Mighty Ducks is great.
Let's compromise.
But Miracle, gets me every time.
Yeah,
what's yours, though? I gotta know what's yours.
It is Slapshot. Come on. First of all, I grew up in the 70s.
I mean, no, that movie is great. You got Paul Newman in it, like
the Hanson brothers. Come on.
No, it is a great film, but Miracle.
Yeah, no. All right. I'll give it to you.
I've got to play in Lake Placid, so.
Oh, you got to play in Lake? Really? Oh, that is friggin' awesome.
I did, yes. I played when I was younger. There's a thing called the Can-Am tournament. So I got to play on that.
Course.
Yeah, so I got to play on the same ice that they won the gold on. So that's just like very surreal.
So you're actually good.
I won the silver, but you know what? It was still okay.
Goodness gracious!
That's right, but I'm not good. It's like I bow down. But anyway, that's awesome. But we'll have to do a hockey marathon sometimes. Anyway, like half done. Beat Bateman, seriously. And I picked you.
That's the game plan. To single-handedly end his season, and then smart man. You're making smart decisions over there.
Well, I am Canadian after all.
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Raiko. I once played floor hockey at a sports summer camp, and I did okay, and that's my hockey investment. Next up, we have on the rotation, dear Drunken Prayer, aka Chris. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Paige. Nice to see you again. You've got that confused looking stuff like I've met you before somewhere. You're like, I know that guy. That's either a scared face or a good face. I'm not quite sure which. But yeah, I brought some show and tell for you because I had to bring it.
Oh, wow! Look at that. There you go.
And also
Great
second
film.
show, and
Great
also
film.
second show and tell. I don't know if I can do this. Let's see.
You can see. Yeah.
Hey, that's
Oh,
tough.
Nope, it went over there somewhere.
Was that a
It sounded like-
SpaceX original? Is that what that is?
It
Do you
was
make
like,
that?
It was like 10 quid off some Etsy shop.
It's Elon's
I mean-
new Etsy shop. He's taking the breakup hard. Gang, he's not struggling.
Anyway, Paige, exact opposite of what I said to Rocha. I didn't come here to kiss his ass. I'm going to come in here and you kiss your ass because you're fucking awesome. And congratulations, your win. What did I have a
Thank you.
question?
Aw.
What was the question I had? I think last time I asked you about dive bars and your favorite Boston bands. I think this time I'll just ask you, what's your favorite band?
You did, yes.
I think this time, just what's your favorite band overall? And get the
Ooh,
guitar. if you can
favorite
play the
band.
song.
Oh, favorite band in general. Honestly. I see I'm better at the ukulele than the guitar, honestly, which is very weird. But favorite band, I mean, I have a Nirvana tattoo, so it's definitely Nirvana, or the little smiley face.
Oh,
So
cool.
Nirvana is my favorite band. So
I kind of skipped the whole grunge thing, so
You skipped it all of
Kurt
it?
Cobain's my favorite.
yeah, I was listening
Alright.
to Queen at the time.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you so much,
But
Chris.
thank you, Paige. Lovely to see you again. And go out, kick some ass in the league. Or keep kicking ass, I should say. Not go out and kick some ass. Keep kicking ass.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Next up, we have joining us again, Maria is here.
Howdy. How you doing, Paige? Doing pretty good? Asking the hard questions?
Hey, there she is.
What I wanted to say is, did you have any moments there when that Ben thing when you felt like an X-wing had come in, a single X-wing into the station, and we were all waiting for somebody to rescue baby Grogu, and all of a sudden there you were, and you lopped his head off with the lightsaber? That's kind of how I felt when you did that. Okay, I kind of went, ah! Like just exactly like that too. The other question I have for you, though, is so what do you know of Mark Wahlberg?
Oh,
Your
man, no.
Boston. I mean, I love me some Mark Wahlberg. Not as much as Affleck, but close.
Marky
What do you
Mark,
think?
actually. I love him. And Wahlberg is fantastic, by the way. No, all of his films, though, fabulous. And he grew up
Yeah.
in Dorchester too, and his whole story started. Hope I'm not like calling him out or not, but like that whole story of him throwing a chair through a YMCA
yeah.
window and stuff. He actually the priest that like kind of like helped him out and stuff is from Brockton, so he like built schools in Brockton
Oh,
where
so
I'm
you're
from,
all over the place. That's
like in
cool.
honor of all
That's
that.
cool.
So
That's amazing. We just got a Wahlberg.
and I went to those schools
where
actually.
my daughter lives.
So
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun.
they're
Well,
good.
that's all I
Have
wanted
one
to
for
say.
me.
So, congratulations. And next time you see that guy that you beat just the other day, kick him in the nuts for me. Tell him Maria said, hey,
Oh, I got you.
bye.
Goodness gracious.
I'll grab
Maria's
him and I'll
got-
hold him nice and tight just for you.
Goodness, we're getting specific with the threats
Maybe
now,
I won't
folks.
hold him too tight.
You got to
my.
find them first.
We'll hit that my notes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't know if he'll be able to find them. I don't know if he has any, but we'll see.
Goodness gracious. What's even happening anymore? Well, I'll tell you what's happening is we've got a wonderful patron joining us to round out our Patreon questions. Again, thank you so much to all of the patrons. But we've got the other man of the hour, one of the all-time greats over here in the Outlaw Nation. We have the legendary Brennan Marr.
Hey,
Hey.
Paige, hello. Hello, allow me to speak
Hey
from
man,
the
how you
heart.
doing?
When I say I am so glad that you wiped that ridiculous grin off the face of that idiot, Ben Bateman. Well, I have been hoping somebody would. And
Thank
you
you.
did it, and in my opinion, you are the only person that I would want that to happen to. So you did excellent. Extremely well done. And I saw that he was trying to one-up you at every notch. But you didn't get into that intimidation. So well done. Extremely well done. Congratulations. I hope that someday one of the belts is yours. And just to say, I saw Fight Club for the first time last week.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a disturbing
Hey,
movie.
so you probably knew that. You probably knew the answer. I haven't seen it in a little bit, but you would have gotten that 2-pointer right away then. But no, it's a huge honor.
Yeah, so I saw that, and yeah, I thought I'd mention that. So that's all I got to say. It's just big congratulations.
No, thank you so much, though.
You are amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
Hell yeah, and thank you, Brennan.
You guys are all lighting like a fire, like under my ass, making me feel too good. I don't want to be too cocky now, guys.
Oh, all right.
Making me feel too good.
All right, here we go. I'll do my best because I can't trash talk you. I can't do that. It just wouldn't sit right with me. But I will do this. Paige, one of the people.
Yeah, let's see what you got, man.
One of the people you are facing down the barrel of.
Actually, maybe I'll lie. I like when people are nice to me.
We'll find a happy medium right here. One of the people you now have to face is one of the folks touted as the greatest of all time. Whether or not, you think it's John Rocha, one of the folks that people like to say is Dan Murrell as part of this Danger Zone team. Now, obviously, he's going to be partnered up with Ben Bateman, who you just got to win over and who it seems everybody in the Outlaw Nation wants straight up dead. So that's the thing. But obviously, that's a hell of an opponent to be facing down. So I wanted to ask right now, do you have words? Do you have words for those two boys?
Ooh, all I gotta say is Drew and I are the untouchables for a reason. You guys are not coming even close to touching us. And yeah, you guys have each won single belts, but I have a former team's champion with me that, sparks are flying between us, and you guys don't know what's coming your way. So just get ready, because you're going to need all the luck you guys can get, because the untouchables are coming your way.
Woo! There you have it, folks. My, oh my. You want to talk about us lighting a fire under you, Paige? Are you kidding me? With promos like that? My goodness.
Steam
Look at
coming.
Boggs. Boggs is about to cry.
Yeah, Paige is.
I'll wipe those tears for you, girl. Don't you worry.
Happy tears. Happy tears. Happy that you're doing so well, tears, I guess. But yeah, you're confident. You're confident. I'm loving it.
Tears of absolute joy.
You always got to, you can't go in there doubting yourself. That's the biggest thing. Never go in. That's for any Schmoedown competitor. Even though I'm a rookie talking like I've been here forever. But I've noticed that. If you go in there not confident, things are just not going to go your way. You just got to hope for the best every single question.
There you go. And honestly, if you've taught any of the aspiring rookies out there anything, it's go ahead and call those shots. Say right off the bat, I'm going to fight this person specifically because you're going to beat them twice, it turns out.
Yep.
But yeah, I just want to say
Exactly.
Exactly. Paige, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on to this show. You've been on a few times now, and it's always been an absolute blast. So I wanted to ask, where can the people find you? Obviously, we got the Twitter right there. Where else would you like the folks to go and find you over across the internet?
Woo. Yeah, you guys can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Front Page News 9. I also run my own movie blog where I post like movie news and reviews and such at Feature Flicks without the C on Instagram. And guys, Schmoedown game plan is to run through this singles and teams tournament. So hopefully I'll be sticking around. I don't want to be too cocky, but I've been working my butt off. So hopefully great things are to come. And thank you guys. It's always a blast to be able to hang out and talk with you guys. And Saul's got the amazing Red Sox hat, so that always just makes me happy too. I know I can go in here and someone else is loving Boston just as much as me. So
Boggs and I will work on our wardrobes for next time for sure. I don't
know what sport you're referring to be honest, but sure.
It's all right, but it's like flip. It's like it's like polo, but with they're up.
Well, like golf in the air.
I don't know why I'm the guy educating you on sports.
Last question, Paige. Any thoughts on some of the boys playing today from the usual suspects? Obviously, they're playing at the Cantina today. Amaru's in his title match, and obviously Frankie's playing the Rager.
Yeah, man, fingers crossed. I've been texting them all day, wishing them luck, helping them out as much as possible I can with like last minute questions and such like that. But win or lose, I know they're just gonna have a great time. Obviously, I'm hoping for that W and a fantastic, beautiful belt coming back to us. So we shall see. I'm so excited. Those boys are smart boys. So they're men. They're not boys. They're men. They know what they're
Big
doing.
difference.
So
There you go. It's only
exactly
men, not boys, over on the usual suspects. But besides all of those men or the boys out there, there's only one Paige Frabetti who's killing it. Paige, thank you so much for being a part of this show. Like you said, I am excited by the prospect of seeing you and Marisol, two wonderful women, duking it out for that singles belt. But either way, I'm just excited for when we're going to be able to see you on this show next, because we will be having you back if, of course, you're open to it. You have a lovely rest of your Saturday, Paige, and we will be seeing you soon.
bye, guys. Thank you so much again.
Anytime. Oh, goodness gracious me. Well, gang, what an incredible guest Paige was. What an incredible match that was. We only have around 20 minutes or so we got a lightning fast handle two of these other matches, because these were both real good ones. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to go too in depth, but we're going to be able to hit the highlights, because these are some good matches that we want to be sure we talk about. Starting over with you, Boggs, the master of Star Wars when it comes to our show, at the very least. Looking at Nicki Dimalanta with Ross Arsenault duking it out. Take it away, sir.
Yeah, so first time I've seen Ross play, I'm going to be honest, but pretty impressed. He's got an awesome nickname, the Arsenal. I don't know if anyone, we were talking about football earlier, but Arsenal are, one of the kind of most successful football teams in the UK. So every time I heard the Arsenal, loved it. There's loads of chants about Arsenal here in the UK. So I loved every time I heard that. And he's got like Sith eyes. Does anyone else notice that? He's got like yellow eyes. I was like, what is it? Are they did he put them in on purpose? But no, he's got super cool eyes, just on a side note. But with the first round, they're both stellar. Both going perfect, obviously 10 for 10, and then both being stumbled on the bonus question, the Emvis Nest question, how many Cloud Riders there are, both getting it completely wrong. I think they both guessed single digits, and it was 13. But yeah, both ending the first.
Okay. I thought that was on me, so I didn't say anything because I thought that was my computer freezing up again.
I have a touch screen, and my notepad hit the touch screen, and it hit the mute button. So
isn't that fun? How sometimes you can accidentally do like a bloop, and then suddenly everything breaks.
Exactly.
It's the best.
Exactly. So
I was just like, Fox has no sound.
Yeah, that was professionalism over here.
I'm glad that we figured out though that was on Boggs, because I was about to start just fully cursing.
I was like, "Did Sean mute me?" Like, I know I'm winning I know I'm ahead. But,
my computer broke.
Yeah, I think John and I were the same. We're like, is this just me, or is this happening?
Could be anyone.
What a world. Round two.
Yes. So round two, obviously Arsenal goes first. Lands spinner's choice. Sticks with the Last Jedi. He does go perfect, goes multiple choice once. Demi goes second, sticks with the Force Awakens. She didn't go perfect. She missed her second question, went multiple choice, and then it was stolen by Arsenal. And then she goes perfect the rest of the round, went multiple choice once, ending the second round 2017 to Arsenal. Go into round three, and then basically comes down to the 5-pointer. Nicki showing, her kind of experience now, with, training with the champ all this time, her playing in this tournament, she looked pretty stellar, to be honest. And she hits a 2, 3, and 5 pretty much with ease. Arsenal obviously struggled with the 5 from same movie, same kind of characters as well. The Cloud Riders in Solo obviously missed his 5-pointer. Felt a bit gutted for him because he was kind of ahead at that point, did give a good account of himself. And obviously, the Den have talked more, particularly Harper, of how good of a player he is, but unfortunately he didn't come out with a win. But I think the story of this is Demi, really. So how, going in, just her unassuming way of oh guys, I'm trying to get drafted. Oh guys, don't back me, I'm not very good. And then she just smokes everyone and goes perfect and stuff. So that is charming. But yeah, overall thoughts on the match. I'm gonna go to Sol first. Thoughts on the match overall, please.
Well, I think Ross will be rewatching Solo several times now after this match. They both missed that bonus point question round 1 and then his 5-pointer being on Solo. So tough break for him because he was up going into round 3. But man, that girl Nicki, I'm here for her. I picked her. I know you were the only one who went against the grain. Everyone else picked Nicki, so I'm sure you were pretty gutted on that. But man, I just love Nicki Dimalanta so much, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm happy she got the one.
Yeah, it's funny. He had the storybook with the answer in the book right there. So it's just like your name you forget. But that's what I mean. When he did mention something quite interesting though, that it is his least favorite movie. And I do think like you naturally going to be stronger in the ones that you love more than the ones that you don't. So I thought that was so interesting. And like no matter how good someone is, you're gonna know less about movies you like less, I believe. So because just less you watch. I mean, potentially that's how it. So no matter how good you are, there's always that that potential. So I found that interesting. But John, overall thoughts on the match, please. And yeah, how it went down.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nicki, obviously, you were saying like she didn't come in cocky in this game, but what she did come in with is confidence in her Star Wars knowledge. And that is something that is clearly being rewarded 10 times over. She's somebody that is fully in her own right, a really strong force to be reckoned with. And that's kind of a Star Wars joke because they got force. Yeah, I mean, Ross, I think it's going to be interesting to see what winds up happening with him next year. Obviously, this does unfortunately mean the end of his Schmoedown season, short-lived, but a great addition to the den. It was great to see him. We'll see where he, Thomas, and Lacey wind up next year if they all have to start duking it out. Oh, a den civil war. I hate it. But I loved Nicki's performance in this. It's, again, like I was saying, the momentum of the suspects right now is going up, and I think that's something that's really kind of helping each of them move forward. And yeah, we've just got more women playing because they're just good women. Like, we just talked about it with Paige. We were talking a little bit about it with Marisol, but like, yeah, truly, we don't have any place for like sexist fucks in this game anymore because we have too many women that are just too straight up good to be entertaining any of that for any longer. So this was a great match by Nicki Dimalanta and Ross, but the winner, Nicki Dimalanta.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, she moves forward. Obviously, you'll play a Damon either way. Obviously, Molly or Alex. So we'll see. I personally I'd kind of want to see Molly just because, we have seen a lot of Alex just in Star Wars in general, being in big title matches even this year. So I just think, something different would be kind of them two playing each other. But either way, it'll be a tough one. But we've got one more match to do, John.
That's right. Absolutely. Certainly, it would be fun to see Molly Damon because she had a great match with Laura Kelly earlier on this year. It'd be great to, see as much of her as we can representing that dungeon. But we got to talk about Corruption and the Suspects right now. Two of the top tier factions as it stands right now with Mike Kalinowski and Paul Walter Hauser going up against each other. And gang, I think we owe Paul Walter Hauser a little bit of an apology. Because we've made our predictions on this match a couple of times, and all of us were pretty much just across the board. Yeah, Kalinowski's going to win this. We really cannot gloss over the fact that Paul Walter Hauser made him fight for it, dude. This was wild. I was really excited by this match, and I didn't expect to be, and that's what made it all the better, is how unexpectedly close and exciting this was. Because right off the bat from round 1, both of them got a perfect round with their 8 questions, but only Paul Walter Hauser got the Morgan Freeman bonus question. So it was already 8-9 in favor of Hauser coming out of round 1, which none of us had right at all. We were all kind of put in our place a little bit. And round 2 kind of reaffirmed that. Mike Kalinowski spinning and sticking with 1980s, missing the Jack Nicholson question, which Paul was then able to steal. So Kalinowski wound up with 5 out of a possible 8 points. And then Paul Walter Hauser, he got spinner's choice. Which, you love to see it. That digital wheel magic every now and then. It worked for again, it's momentum. What am I saying? He wound up going with wrestlers in film. He did miss the Fury Road Sun multiple choice, and Kalinowski, again, Fury Road kind of falling under general inner geekdom territory. It was not too surprising that Kalinowski was able to snag that steal. But that meant that Paul came out of round 2 with 6 out of a possible 8 points. Both Jacob London and Paul Walter Hauser are the 2 best rookies who are 0-2. I mean, hey, I would have to run down the list of everybody because right off the bat, those are two very good choices for that category, Brian, to be sure. And Brian is correct. Corruption is right now in number one because when it came to round 3, they were trading them back and forth. It was going great. And unfortunately, it just came down to that final 5, in this case, going to Paul Walter Hauser. And it was the Julia Roberts full frontal question, which, I mean, maybe it's because there's always just so much content. Everything's coming out, and there's so many remakes. There's so many things that just happen to have the same title as each other. So when I heard Full Frontal, all I could think of was Samantha Bate. And I was just like, see, that's why Mike belongs in the, Hall of Fame, maybe. I know obviously Rocha would very strongly object to putting him on the Rushmore. But I certainly love Mike Kalinowski. I think he is a great player. He's the current Inner Geekdom champ, at least as far as, filming this, unless he loses in 3 or 4 hours. He's, the former teams champion. And we again kind of saw a little bit behind the scenes where Mike was like, singles is not my focus right now because I've got too many other things, but I like it here and I'm feeling pretty comfortable. So, I mean, I would toss it over to you, Soul. First, how did you feel about this match? But then secondly, do you think Mike has what it takes to maybe win this tournament? Do you think he would be the one?
I don't know about that just yet because I don't like to predict too far into the future because then I'm like, I'll probably be wrong. But, man, Mike shows that, he's former teams champion. He's IG champion for what we know right now. But people never really give him his due in singles, and I think he showed getting that perfect round there in singles because a lot of times people say Chance is the A player and Mike is the B player when they're talking about corruption. So I think he was proving to everyone, no, I know my shit. So I liked that part of round 1. Man, Paul Walter Hauser, he was real good, and I think we do need to give him his dues and a little apology because we were all going, Mike, Mike, Mike. So I agree with you on that. But, man, what a match. And it's very similar to the Star Wars match where you have one competitor who's up for most of the match, and it just comes down to that 5.
Absolutely. It'll be great because it does sound like we're getting closer and closer to having fully confirmed Paul Walter Hauser versus Chris Jericho in some capacity, even if we don't know where it's going to be happening. Hey, Chris Jericho, another great 0-2 competitor. How about that? We stumbled across it naturally. Bugs, I'll toss it over to you. Slightly different questions. The first one's the same. What you think about the match? But then the second question is that we know specifically that Mike's next match is going to be his 3rd run up against Janine the Machine, who's been having a very good year with some fantastic performances. What did you think of the match, and how are you feeling about going into Mike versus Janine 3?
Yeah, the match was, I felt like it was a good matchup in terms of Mike, where he is in singles against like a really strong rookie. And just seeing, like how much Paul Walter Hauser knows. And here was studying. I was like kind of surprised, like what, with his filmography and, the kind of stuff that he works in, he was studying. I was surprised to hear that. So that was kind of cool for Mike I want Mike to progress because there's not many people who has the potential to have 3 belts. And he's one of them. So has the IG. Don't know what's going on with teams at the moment in terms of with corruption, but obviously he's, if he could go further in singles, who knows? So the more belts, the better, I think, for an individual. So I'd say I'm looking forward for him to go more. But him against Janine, I mean, it's such a tough one to call. So obviously Janine's kind of filling in a lot of her gaps, I feel, in singles. So she's looking pretty formidable. And then Mike, it depends kind of, I think, round 2 and stuff. So I don't know. It's really up in the air. So as of right now, I'll probably go for flip a coin. I'll say Janine, but who knows? That's a tough one to call. But cheers. Thank you very much, guys, for not noticing. I did say Mike, but I was like, I'm very, very, very reluctantly picking Mike because Paul Walter Hauser is really good. But damn it, you guys don't listen to me. What can I do?
Well, I mean, to be fair, you should be thanking us because that's what made you go 1 for 3 with
Anyway,
your picks.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, and I can't even talk mess. I've been losing too.
I was sweating though throughout the match. I was like, why didn't I pick Paul? I was why didn't? And then,
and there you go. Well, I will say this right off the bat, folks. If you want to see a great Paul Walter Hauser performance, once this show is over, go check out I Think You Should Leave on Netflix because he's in one of the sketches for that season 2. and that's one of the
Quick question.
best.
Quick question.
Oh,
What is your favorite Paul Walter Hauser project or thing that he's in? I was thinking that, like, I was looking at his filmography, I was like, damn, like, I pretty much love everything that he's in. I was in between Cobra Kai, because he's not in season 3. Hopefully he's in season 4, but I love him in I, Tonya. Like, I think he's so funny in that.
that's a great choice.
And he's in it a lot as well, even though he's like a supporting actor in it, but he's in it like screen time wise loads, and he's so funny in it. So what about you, John?
I mean, he's in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is perhaps my favorite show. I don't know how great his. I mean, it's pretty funny. If you know, you know. That's what I'll say about that. But yeah, I was just about to have to like look that up as well, because I think I, Tonya is a great choice. That might have to be mine. What about you, Soul?
I gotta go Cobra Kai. It's a small role, but man, was he so good in it and so funny in it too. So I gotta go with Cobra Kai.
Stingray, yeah.
There we go. As I load up IMDb, I gotta say 2 things. First of all, thank you so much for supporting, as you have been, Outlaw Nation. We really appreciate it. The Streamlabs, the Super Chats, just commenting along. It's always great. We got one last segment on this show, though, before we wrap it up. So if you happen to have a Streamlab or Super Chat you want to send in, you got like 5 minutes as we bring in our producers, Mike and Sean, to talk about our picks for the upcoming matches this week. The Mad Lad, he actually did it. He actually did it.
You know what? I'm glad that Paige is not here to see this atrocity.
Well,
disrespect.
Yeah, you're disrespecting the guests, Sean.
Well,
no, she's not here, so I'm not disrespecting anybody. She's not here. So it's
at
fine.
the very least, hey, Soul, let's talk about how you're only 1 point away from beating Sean in these rankings, huh? How about we do that?
So I would just like to say that myself, Mike, and John went perfect this week.
I've gone 2 weeks now where I've gone perfect. It can't possibly last, but boy, did I need a couple weeks of perfect picks.
I will say this. I will say this. I am so happy that the one I got wrong was picking Paige.
Agreed.
So like, I'm happy to take the L on that one, because even though I lost, I'm only 1 point ahead of Soul now, but I'm happy that Paige beat Ben. So I'm happy to take the L for that.
What did I say last week? I said,
man. That's a song.
I said, I'm going to be only 1 away from Sean. I said it last week, and you know what? Look, it happened. But let's go into these standings. So we have Mike with 23 points. We have John with 66 points. Myself with 74. Sean annoyingly waving his hands at 75. And you have Boggs with 83 points.
I want to start so I can start spreading the news, but you know,
I mean, I actually really like that song, so go ahead.
Well, here's what I really like. It's the song called Laura Kelly of Swag going up against Eric Whiteley of the Quirky Mercs. I can lead off with this because I do feel pretty confident in my pick. It's going to have to be Laura Kelly. This is someone who has been in the Star Wars division for a minute, someone that just had a great title match against Dimalanta, even though she couldn't quite make it happen. I think that this tournament could easily give her another chance to be vying for that belt to now face Thomas Harper. And Eric Whiteley, you know, he's good. I'm definitely not saying he's bad, but like we've only seen him a handful of times. They haven't quite worked out his way. For me, it's just hard to, you know, based off the game tape, I got to go Laura Kelly. Boggs, what about you?
Yeah, pretty much everything you said. I think it's, for being honest, like an A and a B against a B player, to be honest. But yeah, definitely going for Laura. Agree with Brian in the chat there. He has Laura. She's your favorite Star Wars player. You and everyone else. So yeah, I'm picking Laura, no doubt.
There we go. Mike, I believe you've said Laura Kelly is one of the few players you would like straight up throw hands for. Is that correct?
Yeah. John Rocha, Paige Frabetti, and Laura Kelly are the 3 I would throw hands for. So always going to go for Laura, always.
There we go. Hey, we've got love for all 3 of your favorites in this episode alone, huh?
Well,
and that's what's going to win.
I mean, if we ever have all 3 of them on the same show, I might not be allowed to like participate because I'll be a drooling, rambling mess.
Man. Is it too late for us to put that episode in for the Emmys? Can we submit that future episode to the Emmys? I think we could win. Sean, who do you have winning this match?
I mean, I don't know how anyone could say not Laura Kelly. I think I'm hoping it's going to be Laura going to Spectacular. So for that to happen, she's got to win this match. So I think I think Eric is a good Star Wars player, but I don't think he's one of the elite Star Wars players. I think there's Laura, there's the Alex Damon, there's Dimalanta, there's obviously Thomas Harper because he's the champ, Laura Kelly, and I think there's everybody else. So you have to prove to get into the upper echelon, and I don't know if Eric is quite there yet. So with that, I got to pick Laura.
There we go. Fair enough. Yeah, yes, Maria does have Eric winning in the chat. She wants you, Sean, specifically. Well, she said both of us. We both got shouted out by Maria. We do have some love for Eric in the chat, which is well deserved. I mean, yeah, I'm certainly not going to say like the guy isn't good. Again, I'll double down on that. But we do have so far 4 of us here picking Laura Kelly. Soul, are we 5 for 5?
Well, first I have to say Sean giving no love to Scrimshaw there. Not in the upper echelon. Come on.
Sorry, he's not. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
And I just got 4 words. Swag, swag, drip, drip.
Drop. Oh.
Literally forgot about that. So,
oh my gosh. We have to get it in. See, at this point, Soul just knows. She knows what we ask of her. Well, that's going to be 5 for 5 on Laura Kelly. We're going to go reverse order this time because we've had 2 hours and I still don't know how the hell I'm supposed to pick this. Final exam. Lon Harris and Paul Oyama going up against King Arthur, the new team of King Khan and Griffey Nooms representing the Finstock Exchange. Obviously, Harris just getting a win over King Khan, but this is teams now. It's a whole other beast. Soul, who do you have winning this match?
This is going to be a really tough match for final exam, but I got to go with my boys. Swag, swag, drip, drip.
Hey, we got a 2 for 2 this time around. You love it. We love to see it. That is going to be 1 vote for Swag. Sean, who do you? Who do you have?
This is a tough one. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins, but I just think final exam is on a little bit of a roll. Obviously, Lon I think Lon's always the X factor. Like, he's a really good player, but I always think he's the X factor. If Lon plays his game like we know he can, I think final exam could be any team out there. I think he's always the X factor. And I just think he's going to show up. So with that being said, I have to pick final exam.
There we go. Fair enough. That's 2 for final exam. Mike, who do you have?
Yeah, kind of echoing off what Sean was saying. I mean, Lon is kind of the crux of that team. Like, if he shows up, they got nowhere to go but up. But he's got to show up, which is why I'm actually going to use that to go on the flip side and go King Arthur, because I feel like they're going to show up no matter what. Final exam, like, which Lon are you getting? So I'm going to use that same logic, but go the opposite direction and go with King Arthur.
There we go. That's 1 for King Arthur. Boggs, who do you have?
Yeah, really interested in King Arthur. It is just a general tough match to call, but I will go for final exam because of the experience that I'm just seeing them hit so many different slices and a variety of different, things. With Oyama, you can hit Samurai, you can hit Audrey Hepburn, whatever. We just haven't seen that. I haven't seen enough of them to, in particular, the King Arthur boys, to pick them. So I'm not surprised if they win, absolutely, because what I've seen, obviously, they look really good, but just I've seen way more of these guys. So I will pick final exam.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are all definitely in agreement that this is going to be a tough match to call because we have, we've seen how good final exam can be when they get on a roll, when both of them are in sync. And then obviously, we've been seeing some really great stuff from King Khan and Griffey Nooms, and we haven't really seen their ceilings yet. The only time we've seen them take losses is when King Khan lost to Lon Harris and when Griffey Nooms wound up losing in the free-for-all to, among others, Paul Oyama. So now it starts to be an issue of, oh, no, wait a minute. We've seen both of these boys hit a ceiling before, and it happened to be guarded by the 2 members of Swag. But at the same time, I don't know, because I've been also thinking about the fact that, like, Paul Oyama's got that title shot in the back pocket. And part of me wonders if maybe they're going to be like, hey, we're going to go into this and we're going to win. But also, if we don't win, we'll be able to go for the title anyway. Like, I can't help but wonder if that like might be looming in the back of their minds, where they're like, they know they have a way out, hypothetically. So for that reason, I think I am going to go with King Arthur. I think, Nooms and Khan are both really strong rookies. I think they're both going to be looking to avenge their 2 losses. So I'm going to go with King Arthur, and we'll see if that means the end of my week streak of perfect matches. I'll tell you what's weak is my sentence game. That means it's time for the show to end when John's sentences don't work anymore. But obviously,
take that well-deserved nap.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Well, no, first I'm going to eat half a lasagna, and then I'm going to go to sleep.
Ooh,
but in order for me to get to my lasagna, we've got to get around the horn and do all of our plugs, starting with my dear friend Boggs. What do you have to plug, sir?
Yeah, just thank all the guests. Obviously, first of all, Rocha and Paige as well. Thanks so much for coming on. Thanks for the Patriots going. We had loads today. Thanks for the Streamlabs. Thanks for the super chats. Just thanks everyone for watching in the chat. Pop Culture Universe. Trailer reactions, reviews. We dropped a What If review. We dropped a Star Wars Visions review. More to come this. I think No Time to Die is coming next week, so that'll be a fun one to review. And see you guys all next week.
There we go. Soul, what do you have to plug?
I'll just also plugging Pop Culture Universe. Boggs and I went for full hour on Star Wars Vision, so definitely go check that out. We went through each episode. Big Star Wars fans here, and wow, so great.
I gotta watch that still, if only for the Studio Trigger. But if I had to guess, I'll probably watch that episode and be like, well, no, now I need to see the other ones too. Dang it!
Watch all of them. If you're an anime fan, watch.
Yeah, they're
all
like
of them.
15 minutes episodes. There's 9 of them.
Oh wow, I didn't
couple
know
of hours, 2-3 hours, you get through it.
There we go. Fair enough. Producer Sean, what would you like to plug? Does it perhaps start with a Pop Culture U?
It could, or
Yankee?
New York.
Yeah.
Start spreading the news.
Wow, how about that?
Oh, anyways.
I'm gonna tell Paige.
It's okay. I'm sorry, Paige, if you're still watching, but when you win, you win.
Get her back on the show. I'm blaming you.
I'm sure it should be fine. Anyways, just what Boggs and Soul said. Pop Culture Universe. We're still doing What If reviews. Looking forward for Hawkeye. Looking forward to No Time to Die. Venom actually comes out next week, and then No Time to Die comes out the week after that. So definitely wanted to do a review on Venom. We'll see how good.
US, UK.
Yeah, it doesn't come out for me next week. So.
Oh well.
But No Time to Die does. So I think we need to.
Oh, Boggs! God damn you! Well, it should for you. So.
There, as Sean, Soul, and Boggs figure out their Google Calendar, Mike, is there anything you would like to plug?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Mike Shea. Check out my podcast, The Basement Lounge. New episodes every Thursday. Don't watch the Yankees game. And we just dropped a brand new interview with a guy named Brimstone, who's got one of the greatest resumes ever on my podcast. So go check that out.
Hell yeah, there you go. As for me, at John Barr Tweets on Twitter and Instagram. TikTok at John_Bar. I still think I might be too old for it, but we're trying it anyway. Gosh dang it. And then twitch.tv/John Barr, and then look up John Barr on YouTube. I'm the one that's not a travel blogger. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Look at me. I even got a little bit of energy here at the end of the show. I got a pep back in my step. We really appreciate all the super chats, all of the regular chats. Thank you so much for just commenting along, because we love to read those out as well. Don't forget, once this video is no longer live, you can leave a comment down below as well with any other stray thoughts you might have. Talk about baseball. That's part of the show now. We're going to have to do a 10-minute segment on baseball every single week, and me and Boggs are going to be so lost. We're going to have no idea what's going on. But that is going to be it for this episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next weekend.
Mike, I love your t-shirt.
So you can be a travel blogger if you want to, John.
So it's like Polo. I could. Hey, here's